Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Glasgow for the European Dodgeball Championships 2017. I'm joined here with Jake Canner. Jake, what a weekend of dodgeball.
It's been absolutely phenomenal, Louis. Yes, we're talking big improvements from a number of European teams. Some people here to retain and reclaim titles. It's been a stunning standard of play all around, and this is the biggest European event we've ever had. It's one of the biggest continental qualifiers in dodgeball since its inception.
Yeah, 2017 is certainly a year to remember for dodgeball. 2018 will also be another notch, another level for the sport, with the World Cup finals being held at Madison Square Garden in New York City, which now both of these teams have qualified for, proving again that Austria and England are two powerhouses of the sport within dodgeball.
That's certainly right, Louis. The English team able to take a qualification spot from being the reigning champions after the World Cup last year in Manchester. Austria securing it by getting through to the quarterfinal stage, with England having the automatic place in the men's tournament. Here in the mixed tournament, same situation. England taking that qualification spot from the World Cup. Austria claiming it by making it to the quarterfinals. And of course, we're having the women's tournament. Australia getting the automatic qualification, and so only the top three going through. We had some fantastic moments earlier in the competition. Slovenia taking that final spot by getting the third place. A big moment for Slovenian dodgeball, and really good to put some of those Central European dodgeball countries back on the map.
Yeah, I totally agree. From my understanding of the sport so far, it's very much England, Scotland, Wales and Austria that are the main sort of theme. That's the main sort of countries that constantly qualify and get results. To see Slovenia qualify as well is obviously a big thing. We are almost ready for liftoff here, Jake. Who would you put your money on within this game between Austria and England?
Personally, I'm backing Austria. They've had a very rapid development. I think they've been coming from strength to strength the last 3, 4, 5 years. I think a lot of people are going to be backing England. They do have, for prior form, if nothing else, a huge staff behind them, and they're constantly trying to push the sort of the meta game, the background dodgeball world. They have their physios, they have nutritionists, psychologists on board. Austria, not quite at that level, but they're showing time and again that they're experienced in other big indoor sports, handball and the like, and bringing an extra level of courtside discipline. For me, I think it's going to be Austria.
I agree. It's very funny you start talking about support staff, and there's so important support staffs, but obviously they can't do the job for you. You know, like, you can have the best support staff in the world, but it doesn't mean that on the day you can produce the goods. And it's going to be really interesting to see if Austria, maybe a little bit less supported, can cause what would be, maybe in some people's eyes, a little bit of an upset. But obviously you're backing the Austrians, and I don't blame you, having seen what I've seen this weekend either. So we are almost 3 or 4 minutes away from lift-off here. The Austrians have been the loudest and certainly the proudest supporters here this week.
Completely agreeing with you there, Louis. Yeah, they've been bringing that boombox alongside courtside. I think they've even got soundboards pumping. They're trying to keep their team buoyed, the mood inflated, the spirits high, and even a little bit of intimidation against their oppositions. You can hear it starting already, I'm sure, down on the stream. Trying to pump up their teams. The crowd's gathering by the sides of Centre Court, Court 1 here in the Ravenscraig Arena. This is the regional sports facility down in Motherwell. Fantastic venue for this year's European Championships. All organised by the Scotland Highlanders. That's the national dodgeball team of Scotland. This is the 8th competition. And it's a big final here in this mixed tournament. England at the far end, the away end. Austria at the home end, crowd behind them.
Okay, so here we go, the European Championship final of Dodgeball 2017. It's the mixed competition. Austria versus England. And we are off to an absolute flyer in this 5-ball competition.
That's right.
Austria that have started they're on the front foot here, and England pushed to the baseline.
A little bit, I think we're going to see that from Austria. They have a slightly more active play style, and I think that England could be initially dismissed for being a little more static. I wouldn't take that for granted, however. England have a tactic for every situation, and I think that that's where you're going to get the difference between practice situations and the fluidity that Austria can bring. See England in those set pieces, managing to tip, They got a hit on Decker earlier. Rasinger is out, with Austria only scoring a hit on Brett Koenig, their number 9.
It's a rocket arm on the right-hand side from 7, but it goes flying up the back netting. If you are new to dodgeball, it's 2 15-minute halves, and in the 15-minute halves, there's 3-minute matches. So if you manage to knock the opposition out, then you get 2 points for your team. Obviously, it's the team that wins the most points that wins the game. A little bit of flirting here. Bit of a Mexican standoff, actually. Nothing really happening.
Now, this is a classic situation in dodgeball. You're seeing the teams are trying to... It's big at the back. It's a hit on Kremser. You know, these England teams, they're going to be trying to get a situation that they're used to flowing. So you see we have these 5 balls on court. A team with a majority of balls will eventually be called by the referees to play ball. They have to make a play, make an attack. Now, teams have realized, since we've adopted these 5-ball rules, that actually it's better to be responding to that initial attack. So you see England now, 2 balls coming forward, and it's just Katrin Weber on her own. She has to make the play with that majority of the balls.
She's got 2, well, 3 on her. The Austrian charges forward. There's obviously all 5 back. It's pretty routine stuff. Austria really in need of a catch here to try and get one of her teammates back in.
Now Harrison spikes into the ground. It's an invalid throw.
He has to go for that, surely.
He does. Dismissed by head referee Danny Eggleton.
Weber intimidated down here, the Austrian number 9. Obviously, the mixed format's pretty tough.
It certainly is. I think in times gone by, it certainly has been a little tougher. We've typically seen the men's throws being a lot faster than the women's, but we've reduced the ball size now. Everyone is playing with these 7-inch diameter balls. Women have been training with them for a lot longer. They're able to get the grip behind, and that throw power has basically leveled itself out quite well. Now Weber low underneath. Once again, she's holding her own at the back of court. She's trying to draw out that England attack. Now Hems.
It's unfortunate for Austria as Weber can't keep hold of that one. She tries to bring it into her chest, but unfortunately she fumbles it and the ball hits the floor. So first blood here goes to England. They lead 2-0.
That's good play from England. You can see they were trying to draw out Weber. She was holding her own at the back of court, and Lauren Hems just pushing each time further forward until she could catch Katrin Weber at half court.
Okay, we're ready to go again for the second set of this mixed final. It's England who have started the more promising. Weber really did hang around well there throughout the closing stages of the first. All to play for sure, but England will be very, very happy with the way that they've started. They're off again.
That's it, that third ball piked back. A quick start, Harrison to Josiah. Josiah getting rid of it very quickly. Like saying before, they want this 2-ball, but they'll more than happily take a 3-ball offensive. Targeting Lucas Decker in the middle. Andy Koch up on Norden. Josiah.
There's also a catch in there.
That's it.
But unfortunately, he's also been hit. So if you do catch the ball, and then you get hit straight away afterwards, your teammate does come back in, but then you have to leave the arena. So marching orders.
Now in this case, it looks like Josiah was hit before the catch was made, so nothing for it. And there, not quite the ricochet catch, but a defensive block on the England right-hand side. Block into the teammate. Now the ball does not go dead until it touches the ground. So blocking into a teammate is a disappointing moment for England.
Okay, there's a little bit of calm here as England collect 3 balls, charge down the court, all going for number 71, but he managed to get out of the way. He gets a block as well and then fires his right arm. You'll see quite often that the teams will be communicating, won't they, Jake? Picking their target, sometimes sometimes quietly, sometimes they'll be shouting the number that they're going after quite loudly.
They certainly will.
No choice here, though.
Well, no. The speed of 5-ball means that there's not a lot to be had for secrecy in the calls, but Austria taking that second set, their 2 points, that's back to level.
So Austria, much better performance in the second. They bring it back to 2-2. We're off again in the third game. Austria attacking. They're in the neutral zone. The neutral zone is 1.5 meters, and anybody is allowed in that one. Am I correct, Jake?
You certainly are, Louis. It's a big zone, slightly extended from previous rules that included this neutral zone idea. Big hit on Brett Koenig.
Yeah,
Lucas Decker.
Battered in the chest, falling backwards all the time. Austria sort of growing in stature through this one a little bit early on. They're starting to play with a little bit more swagger and a little bit more confidence, that's for sure. There's a little bit of flirting going on, going up and down by the sideline from England, but now there's an attack coming from Austria. Maybe there's going to be a counter here from England. There definitely is a running counter, and that's a huge hit off the legs of the Austrian at the bottom right of your screen. Off you go, marching orders, get out of the court. Exciting stuff here from Glasgow, and it's only just beginning. There's a long way to go left in this one, that's for sure.
So England looking like they have a significant advantage. There was a catch at the back from Josiah. She did have to go out for a hit shortly afterwards, but the running counter from Harrison decimating those Austrian ranks. Now there is only Nicole Kremser left in for Austria in this third set. 4 balls, 3 in the delayed one from Harrison, all finding the mark on Kremser.
Ow. Kremser, I think, took one to the shoulder, took one to the knee, one to the face. Almost, there she goes, straight back to the floor. Difficult position to be in, being the only person left in. But the facts are, England are leading 4-2 as we start the fourth.
So a false start there from Austria, being punished. That central contested ball going to the England side. As a result, they're able to defend against all, and they can get 5 balls from the very start. They scored 2 big hits this time on Weber and Lucas Decker.
It's an absolute onslaught, isn't it, when you false started and the other team managed to claim all 5 balls. The attack is just phenomenal from England, and really this should be their game as well now. They're 6-3. Austria have 3 of the balls. Well, England tried to counter from the right-hand side, but they miss.
It's a strong shot down the centre, taking out Lauren Hems. Kremser initially suppressed by Brett Koenig on the right for England, but those other 2 players more than happy to throw through. Good trust on the Austrian side.
Running counter, straight at the legs, out you go, Austrian 10. It's a little bit unfortunate for you.
There's Leitzinger, his brother also in the mixed squad. Just leaving now, Rassinger for Austria, familiar in this match so far, down to 1 player. England looking to control. They've garnered possession of 3 balls.
Being the only one left must be so intimidating, but she does so well. She jumps, she almost levitates above the ball, lets it go underneath her, Matrix style, and then Rassinger gets the ball back, and this time she blocks it, and it is the whip of a right arm that goes after England. But unfortunately we're at a bit of a stalemate just for a second, but England's still the firm favourites to go even further in charge of this one.
You'd certainly back them at this stage in the game now. Rassinger is trying to get rid of these balls. She wants England to have majority possession so she can respond. And there's a catch on the back line, bringing in Lucas Decker. Decker with 1 ball, 2 and 3. He has to make the play. He's got Alex Harrison in his lane. Harrison quick on him. Koenig on the right.
Got to make one now, the Austrian. Picks the ball up in the neutral zone after what was a phenomenal catch from her teammate, applauded by the English. Oh, and there's one.
It's a shot on Liv Morris. He's got to be off quickly, arms up in the air.
Yeah, Morris goes, and Austria still have 4 balls here. That puts them in a much stronger position than just a second ago, but the block's strong from England. And now remember, they still have 3, but Austria have 3 balls down here, so you'd imagine that they're going to have another couple of goes at here. So here's the running counter. There you go, off the legs.
That's it, Decker struck. He did have an advantageous position with 4 balls. England only 1 because they seemed very reluctant to counter. Then that one-on-one situation, the catch could very much be on in Decker's favour. Now when they had the 2 balls, much more confident to use those 2 balls in a counter-attack. Once again, quick off the start, and is it a ricochet? It is a ricochet hit, losing both Bohm and Kremser. Said before, those balls do not go dead until they touch the floor. Any player hit as a ball travels towards the ground is part of the chain.
Oh, that's an absolute whip of an arm.
He's done very well to block it.
Yeah, done very well to get hands in front of it. Nowadays, if it does hit your hand and you're holding onto a ball, it counts as a block, where in previous years that would have counted as a dismissal. You would have been out. England still, they're well in charge here. They're 4 up as we approach the last, we're inside the last 5 minutes now.
Good strike from the back left from Decker on Harrison. Harrison caught out with a big follow-through. He's gone low, but Decker just having a little moment of clarity. Clear shot.
In the context of the game, Austria will want to win this one badly. They can't be approaching half-time 6 points down. 2 would be a much, obviously, a much more minimal difference, but if they go 6 points down at half-time, it's a long way back for this bronze medal. Sorry, for this gold medal.
Is now a bit of a trade. Decker for Charlotte Josiah, 1 for 1. Typically, you'd be happy with that situation. You're going out, but you've taken someone with you. You've kind of done your job. But at this stage in the competition, I think any player is going to want to be dismissed.
Kremser at the bottom left could be the target here. Definitely is the target from 4, but she avoids all 4.
Now it's a line fault. There is a line fault at least.
Yeah, when the player disappears the wrong side of the baseline, you're out. Get out of the court. 3v1, game over. So England lead here 8-2. There's 3 minutes 30 left on the clock, and it's one-way traffic at the minute, Jake.
Certainly is, Louis. It's unfortunate for Bowen at the very end of this. She's been taking those final position catches time and time again. Now I think at this moment they're going to be taking their 1 minute tactical timeout. Both teams have the option to take a 1 minute timeout at any point in between games. They don't have to wait for the half time, so I believe this is Austria's timeout. England can also use it. They've got this 30 seconds to 1 minute break. Referees also taking a moment just to discuss, get some clarity. I think Danny Eggleton's wanting a little bit more from his referees with regard to watching those blocks. See that far end, coach David Poole, John Rudland, and the experienced voice of Matt Josiah to his England guys. What Danny Eggleton just wants to point out, it's a warning, it's a piece of information. He's seen some plays he's not too keen with, maybe just a little bit too active, lifting off before those balls are live. And finally, that Austrian huddle led by coach and European Dodgeball Federation president Max Golder in the suit there on the right.
Okay, we're almost ready to rumble after the timeout. 3:20 to go, says enough for, well, one more full game and potentially one small one. Austria out the traps, trying to get hold of as many balls as they can. 3 balls are contested. It's in contest. What a catch that is by 15. Well held. One England player out already in this game.
Great court control and awareness from Rassinger. The ball popped up in front of her and she's diving down underneath it. And also Alex Harrison dismissed.
Just taking their time, England planning their next assault.
A glancing hit across Lauren Hems from Decker in the left-hand side for Austria, putting them 3 players up. Not long to go in this first half, but a much better start from Austria, and a hit on Koenig from Hoffman and Weber. Bit of fresh legs, fresh face from Hoffman on the right-hand side for Austria.
This is better from Austria. Timeouts obviously helped them a time to obviously just maybe plan, reflect on what's happened before, and just change a couple of things. Jake, what do you reckon were the key messages from the timeout from the Austrian coach?
Well, knowing Max, he's going to be talking to those guys about things that he has seen on court. Now, really, it could just be to disrupt England's momentum.
It's a great catch, by the way. It means there's another Englander in.
A catch from Liv Morris at the back of court does count, but she steps over the line. Same thing again, this time from Matt Josiah. Now, was the catch secure before the player is out? Alex Harrison's unsure. Referee says no catch. Josiah is out of the court before he secures that catch. It will not count.
Just have a little bit of time here while the referees come together and discuss what the decision's going to be. What do you think, Jake?
Well, from our end, it was very, very close indeed. We've got quite a good angle on that left-hand side line. Now, Josiah was probably over it, if not touching down, but he can, as long as he hasn't touched the ground, be outside of the court boundary to secure that ball. Now, if he's touched down, which the referee says he has, it's no catch. Alex Harrison will not come back in, and that means Charlotte Josiah on her own for England in a reversal from what we've seen typically in this first half. Austria-England final.
And in the context of the game, if Austria can just try and get, well, close the deficit to just 4 points or possibly even 2 by half-time, that would be phenomenal work from them. But what they can't afford is for England to go even further in front. This is pretty comfortable for Austria.
It is. You can see what they're doing here. They know that England have to throw with that majority possession, so teams will try and defensively block that ball back. They're going to try and tire out Charlotte Josiah. She has 2 balls, one underneath her, one far side of court. That 3 together, brilliant accuracy and timing from Austria, hitting centre mass from Josiah. Too many balls to really track. Not really much of a hope for the catch.
Really stuck between a rock and a hard place there, wasn't she? As Austria pull one back. 8-4 with 1:14 left on the clock. So what happens here? Obviously, there's not enough time, Jake, to fit a whole game in. There's just a minute left. So who gets the points if we obviously die down and the game hasn't finished?
If it hasn't finished, then it's the players or the team with the greatest number of players on court at the time will take that set. It's already going pretty well in England's favour. They scored a couple of ricochet hits at the very, very start, losing Leitinger and Decker. It's not ideal. Then they lose Weber and Buda, and now Florian Leitinger, the brother, struck out, leaving just Kremser on her own once more. Expecting Brett Koenig just to keep applying that pressure as Kremser gives away majority possession. England now have to make a more coordinated attack.
Here we go. Kremser is well and truly getting battered in that bottom right-hand corner. 2 or 3 thuds of a dodgeball. I'm telling you, as much as they're not hard, they definitely do hurt when you get struck by a dodgeball.
Well, that's the thing, they carry an awful lot of momentum. 70 miles an hour, they don't weigh a lot. It's certainly a significant amount of momentum.
4:10, and that is half-time of fast approaching.
Trade back and forth between Hoffman taken out, but Josiah struck in response. Alex Harrison, big block off court. It looks a little high, but the referee's happy that he's got the correct part of the hand behind it. Lucas Decker dismissed by the referee.
Every player counts. Every player counts at this time. 4 left from Austria. How many left for England, Jake?
I think it looks like England have just a few, maybe just 1 player more at the end of that set.
So more points. It's raining points for the English, who have already, well, both teams already qualifying for the World Cup next year in Madison Square Garden, New York City, in what will be a huge, huge event for the sport of dodgeball, which is growing every year that I've seen it. The athletes get stronger, they get faster, but they're more agile, and all of a sudden the fun side of dodgeball is starting to turn into a more athletic, more serious sport.
It certainly is. There's dodgeball available at literally every level, right from school, recreation, all the way up to national, international competition of this level. Now, at the half-time break, teams will have between 2 and 5 minutes, probably keeping it quite short so you can stay on time. That's enough time for tactical discussions for each team. Austria need a bit of a rally. They need to come back hard against England. England looking pretty comfortable. Good number of points on the board, and also defending mixed competition champions after they defeated Italy last year in Paris, in Aubon. Austria did have a mixed team in the competition last year in Paris, finishing 8th. They've done significantly better getting through to the final. Looking further back down the roster, England, mixed competition champions in Belfast, Northern Ireland, beating Scotland. And they were mixed competition champions in Vienna, beating Wales. So for the longest time, England defending champions of the mixed contest.
England very much a powerhouse of world dodgeball at the moment.
Certainly by these WDA rules, the cloth ball, the 5-ball game, not universally adopted. Still a few competing rule sets across the world. You know, over in the States they have the foam and the inflatable balls, a 6-ball game, which has been played the world over. I believe the Netherlands, before coming to this competition here in Glasgow, had been playing the American rule set, adapting very, very quickly to the inflatable cloth ball, 5-ball WDA rule set. The main differences in those balls mean that with those foam balls and with the rubber balls, you can get a pinch. The throw style is a bit quicker, a bit more whip, a lot more curl. These cloth balls, you have to grip them with big hands or cup them in a bowling style throw.
So we're almost ready to go in this second half. It's a half that's really going to have to see Austria dig deep if they want to win a gold medal and become European champions. It's a long way back, though, to try and win with a 12-4 down, to try and win 8 games in this second half. Jake, is it almost unbelievable? Is it unattainable for them?
It really depends on how they rally, the Austrian team. They've got the skill set for sure. It's whether they can find little cracks in the English playbook. Now, I know that the English are incredibly well drilled. They've been training for years. As you say, the defending champions year on year on year. Well, Austria climbing that table with each passing year. They definitely have the skills, the strength, the agility. It's just whether they can keep their heads up, work together against that very, very cohesive, strong, tight English unit.
Okay, players lining up at the back. Just if you're new to dodgeball, the middle 3 balls are there to be contested from the whistle. The 2 end balls are uncontested, so each team are allowed to go and grab one of those each. You're going to see the quicker ones run out to try and flip it back to the stronger, more powerful throwers so they can attack. Okay, 7 is out, rate of knots, straight back, there you go, weapons, that's a great catch, well held.
Fantastic work again from Rasinger.
One back for England, though. This is a very fast start from both teams. Austria are going to need to play fast because they need to score the points. I mean,
they certainly
8 behind, and there's probably only 5 games. So they're going to have to win the majority of the games within this second half. Charging forward again. There's 3 from Austria, but there's 1 hit on the standing counter from the bottom right from England. And Austria have only got 2 balls, England 3. So you'll see Austria just sit back just a little bit and let England come at them. There is a standing counter, but that's a great dodge from the English number 9, who just almost pirouettes off the left foot and allows the ball to go flying past him. But here we go, England on the charge.
You're right, with Brett Koenig there, that number 9, agile, very agile indeed, able to fold his body away from that standing pre-throw from Weber, and then just holding that central zone, making it his own, pushing back the Austrian defense to their baseline. Lucas Decker looking off court for that third ball coming in. Passed off to Kremser. Kremser, Decker and Weber with the attack. Early shots from England, but blocked. And a strike back on Liv Morris.
England
And Charlotte Josiah.
Down to 2. Interesting times. Austria have started this second half just as they wanted to. They're putting pressure on England.
I believe a line fault on Lucas Decker.
That's a big, big call.
The hall's gone silent, and as a result, his attack, his counter on Liv Morris is invalidated. Liv Morris comes back in, Decker furious.
That's a big, big call. It completely changes the flow of this first game that we've had since half-time. Instead of being 4 against 2, it's now back to 3-3, and it just means that all that momentum that Austria were carrying has just completely gone, and there's another one that has to leave. That's a great, great hit from the bottom left-hand side of the English half. All of a sudden, England are favourites to go 14-4 up again.
Now Kremser forcing the catch. She was just outside of it. Now she can take them in those positions, but she was really reaching, trying to get her team back in. And Rasinger as well, feeling a little short-changed by her teammate. A quick shot, no catch. It doesn't stick between the knees. It's unlucky for Weber.
That decision was pivotal, Jake, in the end.
It was. Completely disrupted the flow, as you said, Louis. Austria carrying momentum, a 2-player advantage, and completely took the wind out of their sails.
And all of a sudden, England find themselves 14-4 up, and they are cruising towards gold here at the European Championships. We're off again. The race to the middle is won by England. They have the majority of the balls here, I think, with 3. Just dancing forward. There's an attack from the left-hand side, but there's one big one from the Austrian right that goes flying diagonally across the court. Phenomenal. Managing to, the Austrian there at the top left of your screen, managing to jump, levitate in the air, and then block the ball coming directly at his chest as well. Now they have a chance to attack with 4, and they all gang up again. Look at that, that's the relentless stuff. It's ruthless from the Austrian. And you can see the reaction, trying to get the crowd going, trying to get him on his side because they need him. They're really struggling here, 10 points behind going into what is a very, very much the business time of this gold medal game. Austria back on top in this game anyway.
As to be expected from Leitinger on that left-hand side of your screen for Austria. Levitation very much in his skill set. Seemingly floating above those dodges as they come out, and then a good counter from Lucas Decker. It's a bit of a resurgence, a bit of a rally from Austria. You can see them, they're trying to whip that crowd back up, get the music pumping. They are form dependent, and they really do follow the crowd, Austria. Scoring a hit on Liv Morris, Lauren Hems, leaving just Alex Harrison and Charlotte Josiah in for England. All 6 Austrians on court.
Just Austria now controlling this game, but as we saw in the previous one, the decision went against Austria and it completely turned the tide. Bullying down on 7, but now there's a chance to run in counter, but unfortunately no joy this time for England. Austria just holding the piece here a little bit. They know that they're holding the trump card in this game. It's still 6 against 2. England really needing a hit and a catch. There's one hit. Oh no, but there's a catch. I think that means 10 can stay in. Yes, he can. If it's a deflection, the ball doesn't go down, then it doesn't matter. 5 Josiah is out, and there you go. Austria have won their 3rd set of this gold medal match, but still feeling that potentially it's too little, too late, but who knows?
There is still enough time. Statistically, I'd say if Austria can get some quick games in, they could definitely bring it a lot closer. Even if they get themselves to a draw at the very end, they'd find themselves in that extra 30-second set situation, or a dead draw would result in a final 3-minute set extra added on top.
That's an absolute rip from Josiah, the number 2 from England, sending one Austrian out. Got some big shoulders, the English number 2. It's a good block as well. Also pretty agile, managing to get to the floor quite quickly. It's pretty important skill nowadays in dodgeball, isn't it? To be pretty agile, pretty nimble on your feet, getting out the way. What advice would you give to, obviously, like an up-and-coming dodgeballer, whether it's sort of how to dodge the ball or potentially how to throw it?
You know, it's practice. It really does just come down to experience. Now, there are people who are not so strong but very nimble, very quick. They have a place in dodgeball. There are people who aren't very nimble but very, very strong, and they too have a place in dodgeball. Now, with experience comes understanding and an ability to get out of the way of the balls. Now, the dodging, it does sound like it's primary, but really it's a throwing and a catching game with a little bit of on-court agility to really serve as a baseline skill. So it can be picked up at any level, and it can very much be a taught skill.
Well, there's a rip, but the ball took a bounce first before it hit the right foot of the Austrian. So if the ball bounces, it doesn't count as a hit, just to be very clear. But familiar story, Austria now find themselves in struggle town for sure. It's 6 against 2, and I think you're going to just see a charge from England in just a second. They have the majority of the balls as well. Here you go, 3 at the front. Oh, good night. See you later, Austria. And you're down to just 1. This is intimidating stuff for the Austrians still left in the game, but she's going to give it the best that she's got. Unfortunately, we think here that the odds are well and truly stacked against her.
Once again for Austria is Kremser left in on her own. She faces a 3-ball attack. England electing to use all 3 balls, securing that hit, increasing the odds of a hit and decreasing the odds of a catch. Quick to reset our line judges and ball retrievers.
So England lead 16-6 here with 8:20 left on the clock. The body language of the Austrians starting to go. All this positive energy they had at the start, well, they're starting to drop their chins, drop their shoulders just a tad. Oh, as the ball comes flying towards the commentary box.
That's it, straight off the shoulder of Brett Koenig. A wild shot. No chance of him getting up here to catch that. Decker and Leitinger on the ball once more for Austria. Weber taking the hit. England employing a classic tactic. There's a player on the ball they want to suppress, but a player next to them without a ball, that's a much easier target, and they can gain the suppression. Austria still returning fire. Big hit on Josiah, using a few balls in the process. There's still 2 to counter.
Jones has got massive hops there once again. 2 in a row where almost like some sort of PlayStation character jumping 2 or 3 meters in the air, letting that ball go straight underneath his feet. Good work from him. There's 3 left for the English, and it's almost good night for Austria.
They do take that set since you're running to time. England being told to settle down by number 9, Brett Koenig. Just worth pointing out, number 7 not Jones, not Simon Jones. Alex Harrison having to change shirts halfway through the tournament due to a duplicate number problem. In the mixed tournament, he's now donning the shirt of Simon Jones, so that is very much Alex Harrison, captain of this team, as denoted by that armband. I think another minute timeout being called.
Time is very much on the side of the English, but they've taken a timeout anyway. 16-8 they lead. As we approach the final 7 minutes of this gold medal match, and really Austria have got a long, long road ahead of them if they want to win this gold. They'll be happy with the silver, I'm sure, but they've come here to get gold. No arguments about that. Very much Austria in charge early on here.
Now it's whether Austria can keep that momentum they had before. I think a tactical timeout by England, not so much for a discussion, but more to disrupt that momentum from Austria. Now, if they can keep the energy, we saw a quick hit from Leitinger left-hand side on Koenig. Josiah trying to respond, but held back in the middle by Andy Koch. Koch good in the middle, dodging around all three.
That was some effort from Josiah. He really does throw with an absolute hammer of an arm. It's a big, robust unit, but he has just been hit on the shoulder, and he does, well, he has been given his marching orders as he leaves the court and goes around the back of it.
That's certainly for the best, because he did land outside of the court, not yet picked up by the line rest, but not required, as he had been hit, as you say, on the shoulder just on his way down.
Love this as one team comes forward, the other one is almost pinned back to try and buy themselves a bit of time and space to be able to obviously see the arm of the opponent and dodge out the way of the ball. It's fascinating stuff. You see one charge and the other's so close to the back line. Oh, that's a nasty one. He's hit the deck. 33 is gone out of this game. Austria charging once again, looking to come back into this final, but surely it's too far for them now at 16-8. It's a long, long way.
It certainly would be an incredible comeback at this point. Once again, Lucas Decker, the victim of a seemingly difficult referee decision. He feels very hard done by.
And there's another out. This time, female Austrian players have to leave the court, so we're back to threes. Something that's happened quite a lot for England. It seems like Austria get on top within the early stages of the game, and England are just pretty ruthless in the way that they just keep going and going and going, and they keep causing problems for the opposition. Oh, here we go, running counter, suffer that, oh, but misses out. Oh, just Robertson in or out? No, it must have taken a hit off the right shoulder deflection, and now Josiah's in all sorts of trouble. Boom!
Two big hits from Austria. A bit of an apology, because I think when those hit the face, you'll see a lot of that in dodgeball. Any face shots, almost entirely unintentional, and an apology will almost certainly be coming from the attacker.
16-10, that was huge for Austria, but they need to win 3 games in 4 minutes, and I'm no dodgeball expert, but that is a huge, huge ask. Absolute whip of a right arm from the bottom left down here from Koenig, but now Austria's turn to be pinged back to the baseline. They're sort of jumping around a little bit, trying to be a moving target, which is surely harder to hit than one that's staying still. There's a missed opportunity again from the bottom right with Josiah, but he goes back to defend now as Austria storm forward. A couple of misses. Oh, that was a nice ping. You have to go for that one, sir.
Schmid trying to draw the attention from England in the middle. Unfortunately, not behind his own blocking ball. Lucas Decker pinged on the return. Austria seemingly one player down as Matt Josiah takes a hit on the right side, bottom right wing. Blocked from Harrison and then struck in the flank. Weber on that far side, causing a bit of trouble. Leitinger up the center. And again, that ball out to the winger. She needs a bit of protection. England will let her take that ball for now.
Austrian carrier for exactly what I was thinking, Jake. There's one hit on 3. She has to leave. So 4-3, but England are experts at managing to turn these situations around from being one where there's problems to one where they're completely in charge yet again. Austria, well, maybe there's some problems in their communication as they're all sort of looking at each other, wondering who to attack.
I think there's a degree of that. They're checking around for extra dodgeballs. They know that there's going to be a counter coming. You see that from Koenig on Leitinger, seemingly leading a bit of a charge, but that is in no way to dismiss. The girl's a wonderful catch.
Great catch, but she's also been hit. So she goes, teammate comes back in, but hey, that's better than just being struck out, surely.
It's significantly better. Good commitment from Karina Buda. A hit now, and Koenig puts Austria in a good position. Schmidt back in. Now Weber on the outside, just Lottie Millington remaining for England.
Massive, surely off the left shoulder, but no, chance to counter. Ball goes out the back. Austria still need to win this. If they're going to win it, they have to win it quick, so they can try and get another 2 games. There you go, there's the win. And now, this is game on. We've got 2 minutes left, and Austria have to get the balls back to the middle of the court as quickly as they can, because they need 2 games in 2 minutes to tie this game and send us to overtime. Huge time in the game, Jake.
It certainly is, Louis. Great to see from Bohm this time getting that final last position catch. She's been known for it in the past. That's going to boost her confidence. But certainly, as you say, Austria needing to get some quick points on the board. I think overtime's their best shout, and Decker with a catch at half court and striking Harrison. Stunning play from Lucas Decker. Ball back in the wings, and now they need to slow it down.
Game on. We've had hits. Players are going to the floor. They're trying to get out the way, but they're being absolutely smashed from different directions as Austria try and build momentum throughout this final minute and 30. This is exactly why we watch this game, because the excitement is unbelievable, especially in the closing stages. They get a hit now, Austria, and we're going into a final minute. Well, we could be going to overtime. This is huge.
I certainly hope we are now. I think there might have been a hit on Lottie Millington, number 14, but she doesn't know. The referee hasn't seen it. 2 players for England. It's a good position for Austria to be in, but they've got to really speed it up.
They really need time. There's one, but they need to strike again, and then we're going to almost a deciding game. Here we go, Jake. This is unbelievable stuff. Austria, I personally did not think that this was possible, have given themselves a chance at overtime. Where's your money, Jake? We've got, what, 30 seconds left? Is that enough time? There's a little bit of drama. There is. A bit of tension between the 2 teams. Crowds getting involved. Big time in a big game. Fans have got hands on their faces and everything.
Calling for calm, Danny Eggleton.
Austria need to finish with more players on the court than England.
That's it. That's all they need to do.
At least. If they can win the game, great. But all Austria need to do with 6 players left is get a couple of quick scalps off the English, and then we're going to overtime. Here we go. This is huge, huge time. They're sitting back, actually.
That's it, letting
Austria.
England come to them with the 3-ball attack. Austria want that counter. You've got Decker on the right, Leitinger on the left, proving themselves so far. Leitinger the obvious threat.
1 hit and 1 catch. That means surely England are favourites once again, because they're 6 against 4. They really need a couple of hits. 10 seconds left. There's 1.
There's 1. Harrison, great catch at half court,
2.
but nullified immediately. And on Josiah, it's a block.
And there we go. The timer is down. And a fantastic game of dodgeball. But it's England that take the gold here in Glasgow in the mixed competition after what was quite the exciting final.
I mean, stunning comeback from Austria. My heart was in my mouth for those guys. It was a wonderful comeback in that second half. England very much looking the dominant side all the way through the first half. Almost bringing it back to overtime, and just moments of personal flair from all of the players in that final set. Just England edging out. I mean, fair credit to them. It's that drilling, it's the extra training, it's the stoicism of that England play style.
How much do you think, I mean, within the closing stages of the game, Austria really played with a little bit more belief, a little bit more intensity and a little bit more confidence that wasn't really there within the first half.
No, I think that they were trying to suss England out at the very beginning of the match. Austria, once they had found their position, they'd found a bit of a groove and they thought, yes, we're in this, we're getting the hits, and they realised the plays that they could make again and again because England were not responding and not adapting quickly enough. Now, once they were able to capitalise on that, they brought game after game after game, but really it was down, like you say, to those individual moments where that top-level skill really shines through for those individual players. So, yes, a very much team game, but I think a lot of personal moments of flair contributing to that final scoreline, especially for England.
I couldn't agree more with you. Just great to see the sport grow and how exciting every game that you watch really is. But then you have the camaraderie. Look here, all teams, obviously the best of friends as well, but it's a serious, serious game, dodgeball, and it's growing rapidly. England take the gold, but they were made to really work and sweat for it from an Austrian team that, again, like the sport dodgeball itself, are fastly improving, and their game is getting better all the time. There you have it. The presentation has been done, and it's England that win the mixed competition here at the European Dodgeball Championships 2017. Remember, they've just beaten Austria, and it was very, very close. 18 points to 14, the game finished, but it was taken to the final game, and England were made, well, to really sweat for their victory, but a little bit of class paid off for the English team. Smiles all round as they are the European champions. So very shortly, we are going to head down courtside to hear from England player Liv Morris and also Austrian player Andy Koch. We don't know in what order the interview is going to be quite yet, but you're going to hear from England player Liv Morris and the Austrian Andy Koch. It's, I imagine that the interviews will be something along the line of a very happy Liv Morris, but also a very happy Andy Koch with a performance that was strong from the Austrians.
It certainly was a strong performance. They've got a lot to be proud of and a lot to take away from this mixed final. England, as you say, now fourth-time reigning champions in the mixed competition, being taken ever closer to that line year on year.
As we head down, as we look to head down courtside, not just yet. With the next game, the men's final is going to be a huge one as well. Northern Ireland, obviously, well, almost not actually knocking the Scots out because it was in pool play, but actually affecting the Scots' progress throughout the competition, meaning they drew England earlier yesterday. How do you rate Northern Ireland's chances?
You know what, I think they're really going to give England a lot to think about in here. They've fought their way very well through. They surprised Scotland, like you say, in the early stage. It wasn't Scotland's plan in the way that the groups were drawn. They've caused an upset throughout both men's, women's, and even mixed tournaments for the teams that expected to have a slightly different route through. Northern Ireland will be looking to give England absolutely everything, and I reckon they could be causing some surprises for them. England, as you've seen, will be very much drilled, regimented, almost sort of tactically bound as they enter into Northern Ireland, and I really hope that Northern Ireland can bring a degree of challenge that they deserve to face in this final.
England definitely the favourites. Definitely not bookmaker either, but everybody's money in here would be on the English. But actually, having seen how good Northern Ireland were yesterday against Scotland, you wouldn't back against an upset either.
No, as I say, I really do hope they can cause a challenge.
Completely sat on the fence there. Sorry.
There's no commitment either way, is there?
I haven't committed to anything.
if it makes you feel any better, England have won the men's competition year on year in the past. They certainly are the favourite.
Definitely favourites. We're just going to head down courtside again. We're going to hear from the mixed winner, Liv Morris, and also the runner-up, Andy Koch from Austria. They'll both be fairly happy, I imagine.
So we've just experienced a really closely contested mixed final between Austria and England. I've got Andy here from Austria. How do you think it went?
Well, we had troubles getting into the game first. In the end, I think we found our game, and maybe a few minutes more and it would have been different. But congratulations to the English team. They're just a force to be reckoned with, and they showed it once again.
Yeah, that's a true statement there from Andy. Liv, obviously, got the trophy there with you. How do you plan to celebrate tonight?
Oh, can't wait for the gala dinner. Really, really looking forward to it. You took us to the absolute wire. It was an incredible final, but we've worked so hard for this, and it's paid off.
Brilliant words from Liv there. Men's final next, Austria again against England. England versus Northern Ireland, sorry. Yeah, well, let's go support those teams and see how it goes on.
Will do.
Thank you.
Hello, it's men's final time here from the European Dodgeball Championship 2017 from Glasgow, and it's going to be an absolute ripper. It's England up against Northern Ireland, and I'm joined here by Greg Whitehouse. Greg, how you doing?
Not bad. Yourself, Louis?
I'm having a great weekend watching some dodgeball. They've been, well, some athleticism, some teamwork, and it's just such a flamboyant sport.
It is, and you know, a lot of these players not just play in England, but obviously in Ireland, they play together, and not just in club teams, but here at international as well. This is a game to watch. This is going to be a very, very close game. Northern Ireland playing out of their socks this tournament. We all know what England can do. We've seen it many European Championships before. And I think this game is going to be very, very close.
I mean, you look at England, they're supported by 13 support staff, psychologists, nutritionists, S&C coaches, you name it. Northern Ireland haven't got that luxury, but actually what they have got is a little bit of fight, determination, spirit. Is that going to be enough to cause an upset?
Passion is the biggest thing in this sport, you know. A passion can turn a team from maybe not the worst team around, but mediocre team into a team that can conquer, let's say, European giants like England. Never ever count out the underdog in this.
Well, not only European giants now, the English world giants after winning the World Cup last year in Manchester. Huge, huge achievement for them. The crowd obviously packed into this Ravenscraig arena just outside of Glasgow, as we are almost ready to rumble. Which ones are the ones to look out for here for you, Greg?
I mean, Wong there, number 9, incredible player. So flamboyant on the court, incredible player.
So we are almost ready to go. Players are taking their marks. You've got the quick ones at the start who are going to flip the ball back to the throwers. And we're off for the European Dodgeball Championship Finals 2017. England versus Northern Ireland. That's some hit straight away. Number 9 absolutely almost takes the legs off of the Northern Irish.
Yeah,
number
Kelvin
4.
Lee just getting hit there by Brett Koenig. No stranger to European Dodgeball. Brett Koenig, and also the World Cup last year, played and was voted by, I guess, the commentary team and many of people back home. Brett Koenig was voted MVP there at the World Cup last year.
Full of dodgeball superstars. You see that the 2 halves, 15 minutes per half, and each half is split into 3-minute matches. So if you manage to knock the the opposing team out, you score 2 sets for your team.
Yep.
And there's as many sets as you can get into a half.
That's it. And obviously, if there is a draw, both teams take 1 set point each.
There's a hit. No, it's a block, actually.
A block there, but then gets hit up by debutant Jordan Taylor, who is having a really good tournament. Also, number 18, Ryan Neal there, also having a great tournament. Used to play for Wales, but due to ineligibility, now plays for the England squad. Oh, what a catch there. Taking a catch from Alex Harrison as he walks into the outbox.
Plucked it from absolutely nowhere. Now they have a chance. There's 4 absolutely flying towards the English number 9, who's looking at his... What's he saying there? He's getting held back by his teammate.
I think he's annoyed that no balls are in the possession. Although 3 was back here, we didn't have... Well, England didn't have any under control.
I mean, he had nothing to block with. There you go.
There we go. Neely gets hit. He claims he's been hit, and Northern Ireland take the first set.
Really, really fascinating stuff here. England are definitely the favourites, but you can already see that they're starting to look at each other. They're starting to almost, they're just a little bit disgruntled.
Yeah, they'll start asking questions of each other, but you can't start at this late stage. At this early stage, we know what England are capable, and when they start to settle down, they are really fierce competitors.
Just intriguing to watch performance sport under pressure, and you see players start to blame each other, and it's definitely not the way forward because the pressure just starts to rise, and maybe a little bit of patience is here needed from England just to understand that they're the better team on paper.
Yep.
But also but accept that and know that their time will come.
Yep. Well, that's the point, you know. England, they're only 2 set points down. That's nothing, you know. Just 2 minutes and a half gone. Ryan Neal doesn't make the catch there. He's been having a blinder this tournament. Already got a couple of votes for MVP under the belt.
We saw Ryan Neal play against Scotland yesterday. He was on flames.
Yep.
Northern Ireland just throwing bricks at the English here, hitting him left, right and centre. It's almost they're just nudging England, saying, hey, we're up for this.
Yeah, and I think that fight is going to prove worthy as we go on through this game.
There's at least 1 gone from Northern Ireland. Another chance here.
Yeah.
Ireland pinned back to the baseline. Now they're just taunting forward. A chance for them to score themselves, but it looks like they...
Yeah, Kelvin Lee there on the right-hand side. A massive arm there. Not to be underestimated. You can see here these balls are travelling anywhere up to 70, 80 miles an hour. They're 7-inch cloth.
That's a phenomenal hit on the English 9 as he has to leave the arena. He gets his marching orders, but there's also a hit on an Irish player. So we're 3 against 3, and this is anybody's game here, but Ireland have the ball and they really need a hit.
Oh, and Harrison there secures that catch.
That's a turning point within this game, surely.
Yeah.
4 against 2, tables have turned.
There's an old English dodgeball saying catches win matches, and it certainly does. It can change the game in a matter of seconds.
Some dodge that is if he's got away with it. No, he goes to the floor, but it goes over his shoulder.
Yep.
He's out of here. Get out of here now. Last man standing.
Yep, Kelvin there. Oh, and gets hit on the knees as Jordan Taylor takes that hit there. So,
fast-paced start.
Very fast-paced start. Just over 4 minutes gone, and 2 set points apiece.
Good work from the speedsters from both teams.
Yeah, Sean Douglas just pips Ryan Neal to the post there. Obviously, no feet can cross that centre line when the rush starts.
That's a great hit.
Yeah, but Matthew Josiah walks to the outbox, the captain for the men's England Lions squad.
Oh, standoff, but
Oh, he's not seen Alex Harrison there, but Alex Harrison was hit first, so his throw won't count. Oh, it's Simon Jones, not Alex Harrison. My mistake.
just shows how quickly this game can go. Balls flying absolutely everywhere. There's another huge throw. It's a right-handed whip from the left-hand side, but fortunately it misses out. No joy this time for Ireland. But again, if anyone was writing them off, you might see it a little bit differently right now.
Oh, that's it, you know. A lot of teams always write off the underdog, especially in a battle of giants here, but we can see how, oh, what a shot there, clipping the shoes of Shun, but Jordan Taylor also gets hit there. So, England, a player down, but a catch or a hit will change that play. Now, a ball each.
That's bounced, so that won't count as a hit. You have to be hit on the full.
Yep. If the ball is still alive, if it becomes dead, then once the ball hits you, you won't be classed as out. Kelvin there. Nice fake up on Brett. Brett's pressure's back.
Power generated by obviously foot speed, but also body weight going through the ball, and also power from the shoulder just means that some of these balls are flying across your screen at home.
Yep.
Phenomenal stuff.
Alex Harrison just has to watch out there for his throws. We all know he's capable of hitting a target, so he doesn't want to be deemed throwing unnecessary invalid balls there, otherwise he'll be called out.
3v2, and Northern Ireland, if they're going to win these games...
Kelvin ducks under. Sean Douglas there. What a throw on.
Exactly, if I was just going to say, like, if they're going to win these games, they have to deliver at clutch times. That's a clutch time. That could have gone either way. There's a catch and the game turns.
Yep, and then
but then right now they're still on top.
That's it. Brett then just hits Sean Douglas's shoe. Two throws together. They've got to track back. He gets the ball. Oh, and still gets hit, though.
That's an unbelievable ping.
Oh, no, apparently they're deeming it was a block first. Oh, and Brett claims he didn't catch that ball there.
Phenomenal stuff. Two in the hand, but that one there was the one dropped through the hand, straight onto the floor. Puts his hand up, says, yeah, my bad, I'm out. That's 4-2 now, Northern Ireland. Yep. Big, big game. We're off again. It's the fourth game of this.
Oh, Ryan Neal making the full start. So Northern Ireland, I do believe at current, take the starting ball. This ball is live from the get-go. 4 balls back in the middle.
So yeah, whoever false starts, the other team managed to get all of the balls.
Yep, the middle ball will go first.
Which means there's going to be an absolute onslaught.
Yep, and Danny Eccleton, head ref on this court, has just told manager John Rutland to tell the England guys to keep their mouth stumm.
Pressure surely on the English now.
They've got to get some big hits now. If Northern Ireland want to take control of this game, they've got to get at least 2.
Well, there's 1, there's 2, there's your 2. Maybe a 3? No, definitely not a 3. But
2 big players for the England guys as well. Matthew Josiah and Brett Koenig make their way to the outbox.
You see that both of those players are the ones doing quite a lot of the throwing for the England team. 2 of their biggest attackers out the game.
Well, normally, yep, the big throwers will head out to the wings. Now, obviously, you can see the rearrangement of the squad.
Yeah, they've completely changed. Pressure cooker now for England, who, well, they would have been very confident coming into here. Maybe underestimated Northern Ireland just a little bit. Do you think they would have spent some of their time preparing for the female game more, the Austrian game, and seen that as a tougher task or not?
I don't think so. I think you've got to take your own game as it comes. You can only play who's in front of you. And when it comes to England Lions, you've got to play the game. You've got to slow it down, because England play a slow game. And to beat them, you've either got to go super quick out the blocks, which Northern Ireland have done, or slow it down so much that England really don't have a chance to move. And Ryan Neal not getting a chance to do much in this game. We've seen him all tournament making big movements, and and played out of his socks. Normally a 1v4, I think a 1v5 he completed earlier. Oh, and Jordan Taylor takes the catch. Secured off the other ball.
That could be championship defining right there, because if Northern Ireland would have got a hit instead of England getting a catch,
yeah,
well, they would have been well in charge again to go 6-2 up, but instead, we're back at 2-2, and England now must be favourites.
Well, that's it.
To go back to 4-4.
We just saw Alex Harrison walk out because he'd been called out for an earlier throw, and Sean Douglas does the block. Got to take a hit there, and what a kick.
Suffer that, England.
That's it. The delayed throw on Jordan Taylor is crucial because he likes to make quick movements nice and early. Now you've got to throw.
Now he was stranded, but that's some catch, but the referees had to step in.
They think that may be a hit first on his knee as he's gone up. It looked like it from this position, but hey-ho, I'm not the referee.
Decisions like this define championships, and this is huge in the context of the game, because obviously Northern Ireland will take a 6-2 lead with just under 5 minutes left in this first half, and England, who's many people's favourites, will be struggling. But looks like it's gone England's way. Looks like Koning is in there celebrating. That tells us enough that...
That's it. So Sean Douglas happy with the decision there from head ref Danny Eccleton.
So that brings us back to 4s, doesn't it?
It does.
We're
The scoreboard will be changed, and it is 4 sets apiece.
After what's been a highly entertaining start here in the men's gold medal match, that's for sure.
That's it. Just under 5 minutes left now. 4 sets apiece. And some great dodgeball being played already in this game.
Just thought in the last game that Northern Ireland were going to take a 4-point lead, especially with Josiah and Koning going early. That was a huge swing, but they managed to stay in there. They were very, very good.
Yep.
England, just to keep making plays, and that catch at the end was massive.
That's it. And for Simon Jones yet again going out. Some of these England Lions lads have just come back from Las Vegas playing dodgeball over there for UDC, and Brett tagged. Brett gets hit there on the jump up. That's what you got to do against Brett Koenig. Throw 4 balls, and that's the way. Sean Douglas makes the jump, but just gets clipped on the feet.
Just so impressed with Northern Ireland, the way that not only have they just performed for 2 or 3 of the games, they're in absolutely every game here. They're in charge.
Yeah. Well, you said it, like they've really come out the blocks here against England, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to play them at their own game, pressure them back to the courts. But now England with 3 balls.
It's gone to the deck there. Northern Irish player at the top left of the screen.
Yeah,
very well.
Aaron Murphy just getting out of the way of that. It bounces before it hits him. He blocks that to the ground. They've got to play 1 now. Nice. Harrison's get hit.
Oh, and then they miss out on the running counter, England, and that's massive because they needed to try and get 1 each out. But unfortunately, the miss from England again has given Northern Ireland the initiative going through to the final stages of this game.
Yep. 1 catch here, though, can change it around, Louis. And we've seen it already in this game. Jordan Taylor catch changed the game around a couple of sets ago. Nice dodging, and
oh, sit down.
He just misses out on that catch, as I've just said it.
Floored him.
That's it.
Another big arm. Is that a catch from Neil? Is he going to take it? He's a bit undecided as well. There's a little bit of indecision, but they've taken the catch. But the body language from Neil there did not really ooze confidence of a catch.
It looked from this angle, and I can't say it all, but looked like it bounced first, but Neely claims the catch, and Alex Nelson, line ref, claims the catch has been made.
Again, another big decision that's just changed the game.
That's it. Matthew Josiah now joins the party of Ryan Neal. Oh, and number 7 there, Adam Hill, doesn't quite make the catch. England now go up 6 sets to 4. 1 minute 50 to play. All to play for in this first half.
If you are new to dodgeball, we hope that you are enjoying it, because it is a fascinating sport that's always high in entertainment value. Oh, someone's gone down. Hands on the face. This does not look good.
And that's Ryan Neely, star player in this tournament.
It's good to see that he's okay. Dodgeball's very own Terry Butcher.
That's it.
Is he allowed back in? Another better look. Oh, was the head of Neely that went straight into the knee of the opposition.
I think he stumbled there on the rush for the centre ball, taking Sean Douglas's knee to the head, but a hand did go over the centre line, so he is called out at the same time. A nice fake from England there, trying to force more balls into their possession.
Bullying
That's it.
play from England. That 2-point gap that might have just relieved a little bit of the pressure on them that has been building throughout the early stages.
Really bizarre that Matthew Josiah has moved to the centre when taking that catch. We don't really see him in the centre. Maybe he's getting targeted just a little. We know that he's one of the legends of the sport. And now 4 balls. And is hit there.
8-4 with 40 seconds left, and really Northern Ireland now, they need to try and win this final game to at least get them back to within 2. They just need more players on than the opposition.
Yep.
Final game of the first half for sure, just about to get underway. If Northern Ireland do finish with more players than England, they come back to just 2 points the gap. It's a huge point of within the context of the game.
Exactly. If Northern Ireland can close this out with 5 seconds to go, then another 30-second period, another 30-second set will commence. Oh, Matthew Josiah just drops the catch at the line.
What we do know about this England team is when the pressure is on them, because they're such high favourites, their heads do start to turn and focus on what each other are doing wrong,
Yep.
instead of what they can do to help the team.
So both teams take a set point there. Both teams have 5 players left on court, so both teams will take a set point.
It's been an enticing first half here in Glasgow. And the great thing is that we still have another 15 minutes left. And if Northern Ireland can keep asking questions of this English team, they're going to be right in the hunt. I'm completely assured of that. What would you be saying now if you were the Northern Ireland coach?
We've really just got to settle this game down. And that's all they've got to do.
It's started to get a little bit frantic.
That's it,
As
you
Greg
know,
said.
they're bouncing and jumping left, right and centre. They've just got to calm their game down. Maybe they're being a tad too erratic. I think they've got to try and draw on the couple of sets they had at the beginning of the game, where they were taking England and pressuring them back to the back of the court. Incredible atmosphere here at Ravenscroft here today.
Yeah, it's been amazing all weekend. The dodgeball community is a very fun and very loud community that, if you're a newbie to the sport like myself a little bit, obviously only being to one tournament before this, you can't help but feel warmed and welcomed by such a great group of people.
And that's it. We're not just incredible sports people, but we are a massive community in itself. Over 300 international players here this weekend from 14 countries. A massive turnout for Glasgow. And the England Lions put hands in.
Would you say, Greg, that this was the biggest game for Northern Irish dodgeball?
Oh, incredible, massive. They've always kind of been at the top, with Republic of Ireland also up there.
This one right here?
Yeah, this one is massive for them. Massive not just for Northern Ireland, but massive also for Republic of Ireland and the Irish community as a dodgeball whole.
So the second half of this men's gold medal match is underway.
Yep.
Here in Glasgow. It's England who, well, they're the favourites, but they have, well, they're in charge of this game by 4 points, but it's not been their own way. Northern Ireland have been phenomenal. They've battled, they've caused the English problems throughout the first, and I can't wait for this second half.
That's it. Danny Eccleston calls a play ball there, so they're going to have to throw. Oh, and they do. They hit Brett Koenig as he walks off. Slightly annoyed that the Northern Irish players are calling him out before the ref does.
Falls all around. There's 2 Northern Irish players already by the floor, just getting ready to go to the deck if they need to try and dodge the ball. A little team talk from England as they progress down the court, and there's a few fired at the Irish, but that's some almost Matrix-like move from Douglas.
That's it. Sean Douglas, they're incredibly acrobatic, had an incredible tournament. But these Irish lads, these Northern Irish lads, are so acrobatic and such professionals in the game of dodgeball.
For me, this is the biggest game of this match so far. If Ireland win this, not only do they get back to 2, but it breeds that confidence.
That's it.
If England win this one, it's almost pushing Northern Ireland away yet again.
Yeah, so 3 players apiece now. Ryan Neal, Alex Harrison and Simon Jones left for the England Lions. What can they do? And they hit Ryan Neal while he's in the air.
Neal has gone. That's huge. It's off the back and out the back of play. They need a catch now, surely, England, but that will help. The hit down here at the centre of the Irish court has really levelled things up. This has been the story of the game so far. Every game has been nip and tuck. Oh, headshot. No, block. Looking for a headshot, I think, Northern Ireland, but it's not been given.
No, line referees have called it. Northern Ireland have to be careful here. If they start opening their mouth too much, then...
England are not admitting to anything here, are they?
Sometimes it's harder than it looks, you know. Sometimes it's harder than it looks, especially with 5 balls in play. You think that the ball that skims your head is probably the ball that's in your hands, but Lee here.
1-on-1, dual time, flying down the court, England, there you go. No real celebrations, just a little pat on the back of his opposition. That's very friendly, very sportsmanlike stuff, which is very characteristic of dodgeball, that's for sure. But the more of the story is that England have just gone up by 6. As we go yet again, England are now almost starting to cruise, but the score doesn't really reflect the match.
Well, that's it. Sometimes that's just the way of the game. That here we see 11-5, but Northern Ireland have been up for that. Every set that they've lost, it's been so close at the front. And it has been so close in every set that's been played. Northern Ireland definitely aren't out of this game just yet. There's still just under 12 minutes to go.
7 is out.
That's it. 3 go out there.
3. Good night, Ireland. Surely this is almost a nail in the coffin here for them if they lose this one quickly.
Well, you say that, but England will go up to 13 points. Northern Ireland still on 5. Oh, what a catch!
No, he took it by the scorer's table. Josiah flying down, right hand across the court.
And a massive round of applause for that gentleman there. What a catch. Committing himself off the side of the court. No care for technology.
The cameras almost went flying, but that's getting the hand-eye coordination there to take it on the dive through the table. Oh, there you go.
Nice. Sean Douglas commanding the Northern Irish Knights. They've got 5 balls in their possession. 3 have to be played. The call from Danny.
Oh, 3 missed.
Oh, straight in the head.
Stinger. But there is a counter-attack from England that keeps them in charge. That was some hit. Well, someone got knocked out yesterday here from being hit on the head by the dodgeball.
We've seen several headshots. They do count for anyone. Oh, Brett takes the comfortable catch at the back of the court.
That's a tough one to catch because obviously it came through Neil as well.
Yeah.
Difficult one to track into your hands.
Well, that's it. Neely just being tactically aware. And what a great set there. England go even further in front now. Is it too late for Northern Ireland?
I think everybody watching now can understand how and why Northern Ireland came through a strong Scottish team in the group stage, because they're just battling. Obviously the spirit's high, but they're very strong, physical and fast athletes as well.
Well, that's it. Like you said, they beat Scotland yesterday in the group stages. Well, Friday it was, they beat Scotland in the group stages. We're here on day 3 of the 3-day tournament. Scotland yesterday played England in a game that shouldn't really happen until the final, and it doesn't normally happen until the final in many a British and European championships. But it turned up a tad early at the quarterfinals, and Scotland missed out on the place at MSG next year.
Madison Square Garden for the World Cup of Dodgeball. Wow, how fun does that sound?
Exactly. Many a great sporting occurrences have happened there, and Dodgeball's going to be the next.
And we're off again, England. Well, leading comfortably now. There's another head injury. We've seen that earlier.
Neely again hit in the centre.
Just taking hits not only from the ball, but from the floor as well. He's walking, looking a bit sorry for himself. O'Neill. There's a bit of a pause in the game. A little sweat on the Taraflex floor.
David Paul is here to wipe up the floor, along with Jonathan Rutland, the England manager.
Who will be feeling a little bit calmer than he would have been 10 minutes ago when Ireland started this game at a rate of knots. 5. Ireland with 3. Off the shoulder? No, it was a block from the Englishmen as they charged down.
Yep.
Missed diagonally, sorry.
So Northern Ireland with the 3 balls, what can they produce here? Just the 1 ball. That's all they need to do. An attack is made within that first 5 seconds. And Adam Hill takes a walk to the outbox after getting hit while high flying in the air.
This one, surely, for Northern Irelanders, must win if they're going to stand any chance getting back into this one.
Heads have dropped a bit, and I'm not glad to see that, because I definitely know that Northern Ireland are a team that can be there winning this one day. Oh, and Matthew Josiah takes the catch. Jordan Taylor there, just behind him, making sure that he doesn't slide off the back of the court.
3 coming forward for Northern Ireland into the neutral zone, just lurking on their prey. They all miss out this time though, and there is a hit on the counter. 6 is out of here. So 8:34 left on the clock.
Yep. Johnny McAllister gets hit on the standing counter from Brett Koenig. Now, Josh McElroy in the neutral zone, just pressuring England back a bit. And a bounce called there. Like you said, Northern Ireland definitely have to be looking for this. They're going to have to start making catches if they're going to turn this set around.
It's just gone a little bit flat for Northern Ireland, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They were going at 1,000 miles an hour to start, and that's maybe a little bit sloppy from the Irishman, just getting caught on the backside as he has his hands up and well, it's given his marching orders to disappear for a moment.
Oh, and he was called line infringement. Wasn't sure on that. I didn't think his heel was quite on the floor. It's got to make physical contact with the line.
Some people in the crowd not agreeing with that decision, but can't argue too much with the referee. And we're off again with England leading by 10.
And that's it. The referee always makes the final decision here. No back chatting, because otherwise Danny, head ref here, will be getting out the yellow cards.
Just coming down, almost taunting his opponent. There's a hit on 9. Oh, there's a catch as well. Ireland are starting to fire it up again here. 3 coming forward now. And then they just back off. They're just buying their own time to attack as a 4 hit. Ooh, down to the floor, almost press up position.
So Jordan Taylor subbed off here for Aidan Woodall, ambidextrous Aidan Woodall, ex-GB handball player. Weird style of throw. He can throw both with the left hand and the right hand.
Handballers have to be trained to sort of trade hands and be able to throw on the turn either way. Great skill to have.
That's it. And a lot of handball skills are come across in this game. We've seen many teams, many countries come over from handball ability.
And jumping around all over the place. There's a headshot, but no, it's not a headshot, it's a block, and then the balls crash against each other.
Best sounding dodgeball when 2 balls collide. Kelvin Lee not making the catch there. Bit gutted because he's in that right position. And Simon Jones just blocks to the floor.
Oh, pandemonium here. Northern Ireland still the team in charge of this game, but in the context of the match, they're falling away here, and surely it's England now that will definitely take the gold. They're already the reigning World Cup champions as well from last year in Manchester. One of the favourites maybe for the World Cup next year at Madison Square Garden.
Oh, Aidan Woodall gets the hit. Simon Jones is going to storm forward.
One left, here's a chance.
Oh, nice fake. Just pressuring Simon Jones to the back of the court. Now only with 1 ball. 5 minutes left, 10 points to gain.
Momentum starting to swing again, and now England have a chance to increase their lead in what is almost a certain victory now.
Simon Jones could have dropped the ball he had and gone for the catch, but he doesn't want to risk anything. The stare down happens as they start to creep towards the neutral zone. He blocks to the floor. He's got to track back.
Almost a sacrifice play.
Oh, and both teams take another set point each after that draw. Brett pats Simon on the head for a good competition.
So what you can't tell on the scoreboard is that each game is 3 minutes long. So in the game, when the timer ticks down to 3 minutes, that's the end of the game, and both teams finish with a point. So it's still a 10-point game here in Glasgow. It's a long way back with just 4 minutes left. There's enough time for 2 games. Too little, too late now for Northern Ireland. It's gone.
That's it. I think what might be being said in the Northern Ireland team huddle is that they've come this far, and what a massive success they've had throughout this tournament. Played on fire, beating Scotland in the group stages, and they got a nice run to the final here. They beat Republic of Ireland in the semi-finals. Now, 10 set points behind, 4 minutes to go. What can they do?
We're off again. England winning the contested balls in the middle, and then there's an Irish player absolutely storming through, and that's stuck out way. Well, 2 times number 4 had to go to deck, 1 to the right, 1 to the left, manages to get out the way, but there is one player who has to leave from the Irish team. It was pretty nuts in there when the whistle goes for the first time. Oh, 4 is now out of here from the diagonal throw from 9 from England. Still 10 points. Ireland really still trying to throw the kitchen sink at this one in a game that is now too little, too late for them. There's just a pause in play now, though. There's a bit of sweat on the floor.
Once again, whoa, you know, plenty of sweat here on this. Plenty of sweat on this court. These players don't stay dry the whole game. They are at max potential. Matthew Josiah just getting his feet on some sweat.
And we restart. Again, just coming forward, faking it a little bit. And they've got the ball, so they earn the power of possession, but...
Oh, Brett going for the catch there, just catching his fingers. So, both teams equal on players. And Ryan Neal getting caught up in the crossfire here.
Three forward again. There's a counter from England, but now under pressure, the English, and that's a hit. And five almost stays down.
That's it, Alex Harrison goes for it. One of his trademark catches, kind of jumps, floats in the air. Normally he takes the catch as he did against Scotland yesterday in the quarter-final.
Oh, off the knee, surely out of there, Josiah.
And Aidan Woodall makes a great block there.
It's a thunderbolt from Douglas with the right hand, and just pop the ball out, block it, easy pickings. Just shows how well your hand-eye coordination has to be within this game.
Yeah, plenty of things come into this game as...
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
went to the left, to the right, and then ducked underneath the ball. And you can just see reactions are phenomenal in here.
But Danny Eccleton calls a hit. Aidan Woodall says it didn't hit me, but he's not the referee in this game, unfortunately.
Referee loves making big calls.
John Rutland has just held the 2-minute finger mark up at the England lads. They're 8 points ahead. 2 minutes to go. If they can just control this now, they'll be European champions.
Right, it almost needs to be a disaster, doesn't it? Great
Yep.
for them to lose this one. 4 games in a minute and a half.
That's it. There is a little loophole within the rules that any time under 30 seconds...
Oh, here we go, battle. He says, hit me.
Any time under 30 seconds, a new 30-second set will commence. So if they can pump out quick sets game after game, then they'll get plenty of 30-second sets.
And then just stood up and said, come on then, mate, ping me.
Not afraid of anything, that man.
No. And he got pinged and out.
Well, James Tuthill, Scotland manager, but line ref in this tournament as one of the refs. Oh, and a hit there. About 45 seconds to go.
Such a shame for Northern Ireland because they started so well. They finished so well, but just in the middle stage, they just lost their tenacity and their intensity that got them so far.
And they're chanting for Steve Ndumbe, one of the big power arms for England. Hasn't played much this tournament, but when he has, he's brought out that big arm. Sean Douglas grabs the middle ball.
Yeah, he is a weapon of mass destruction on the dodgeball court.
That's it, 17, Stephen Ndumbe. He's the guy that you should be looking out for. Kelvin Lee not just picking up that catch from a cross-court shot from Brett there.
Ndumbe does miss out, and then he has to get back quick, but unfortunately he ducks down and it just hits the back and out of play.
So Steve, and that's it.
There we have it. England win the European Dodgeball Championships for 2017 in emphatic fashion. Well, they've beaten a strong, spirited and very skillful Northern Irish team, Greg.
That's it. Well, the score finishes 17-11, and what a great game that was. So England have done the double so far.
Yeah, England certainly have done the double, but they were made to work very hard for it, the Northern Irish team that really, well, they beat Scotland, who are many people's favourites to challenge England.
Yeah.
They put up a great fight, didn't they?
They did, with just 2 set points within that game. Steve come on, and he said to me earlier on, he said that Northern Ireland won't go without a fight, and they all shake hands, best of friends off the court. Like we said, a massive community here in Glasgow.
Amazing performance from both teams. Maybe Ireland will be kicking themselves for just the middle period of the match where they just dropped in their intensity, as we spoke about earlier. And England are a class side, so they just took full-on advantage of that and really made them pay.
They did, like we said, Northern Ireland come out the blocks.
So we are going to have the presentation of the men's European Dodgeball Championship for 2017. England, many people's favourites from the off, but they proved that they were together through every game. They worked so hard for each other, and they were very, very class at important times. The captain, Josiah, comes forward to lift the trophy. And England are the European Dodgeball Champions of 2017. Very much a tournament for them to remember, and also a massive confidence boost going forward to New York City next year for the World Cup of Dodgeball at Madison Square Garden. Smiles all round for the English team, and why not? After winning the World Cup last year, they've only gone and made it a double with the European Championship. That's right, isn't it? Okay, so we're just waiting for an interview down with courtside. So we're just looking, waiting for the interview courtside. Just waiting to find out who it is. Sam Mason just down there. Be a very, very happy England team again. Remember, a team that, well, they took a setback at the home nations against Scotland last year after winning the World Cup. So this is very, very good work from them to bounce back. Next game up is the female final between England and Austria, and that should be a very, very close game as well. So as the women warm up, we get ready for a courtside interview.
Kelly, Bruce, is he the captain or the manager or head coach? So we're heading over to Sam Mason with Brett Koenig and Bruce Cousins. Let's see what they have to say.
So we just had a really close contested men's final between the England men and the Northern Ireland men. England came out victorious. First words from you, Brett.
Delighted for the lads. We've worked incredibly hard since November. We had that loss to Scotland in the Six Nations. The work everyone in the squad's put in has been incredible. Nutrition, psychology, fitness, tactics, everything from grassroots all the way to the sort of international level at the clubs. Everything has been incredible. And they really deserve it. As a squad, I'm so pleased for them.
Brilliant words from you, Brett. Commiserations, Brew. What are your thoughts going into? Obviously, you qualified for the World Cup. What are your thoughts for then?
we're delighted to have qualified for the World Cup. It's going to be absolutely massive for Northern Ireland, such a small nation to be going to the World Cup. We're thrilled, and we're going to up our training. This is the first year when we've managed to have as much training as Scotland and England have done, and I think we've seen the results through all of our teams today, so I'm really proud of everybody, from the players to the squad players who we've been training with. It's been a massive team effort and everybody's been together, so I'm super, super proud.
Nice words from you both. On to the women's final. Let's go support them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lovely.
Cheers, man.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Glasgow for the European Dodgeball Championship 2017, where it's time for the ladies' final, Austria against England, and I'm joined here with Kelly Bowen. Should be some game this, Kelly. Two of the best teams in the competition, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Austria, the current reigning champions of the European nations, and England looking for a comeback here.
So the gold medal match is underway here. Austria versus England. It's going to be some final as well. Austria just backing off to the baseline, as we've seen so many times during this weekend. England charging forward from afar.
And you've just seen something that Umreich has been able to do all weekend, putting people off with her pre-throw. A brilliant starting hit on Sarah Town there.
Austria, many people's favourites here. England now looking for the clean sweep. They've won the mixed, they've won the men's, and now they're looking for, well, the hat-trick. But Austria, and a very, very tough, robust Austrian team, stand in their way.
Yes, they do. And England have every possibility here to achieve the triple. However, Austria, a formidable opponent, very well liked here, as you said, just because of their positive attitude as well as their dodgeballing ability.
Fast improving nation of dodgeball, Austria. Oh, there's a collision of two dodgeballs halfway through the neutral zone. Just calming down. If you're new to dodgeball, then you understand there's two 15-minute halves and they're 3-minute games. So if you win a game, you knock the opposition out. You win by you win 2 points for your team. If there's a draw, then you win 1. Certainly, game on. It started at a fast rate of knots, isn't it?
That's correct. Players on and off already. You can see a couple of catches on both sides and brilliant hits occurring here. And there's that pre-throw again. England are going to have to learn to shut down the number 22 for Austria if they want to succeed in this match. And what a brilliant three-ball attack there from the Austrian Eagles.
Just taunting the opposition 22, hey, coming through the neutral zone, having a little flirt with the ball, and all the time, just not really.
Yeah, and what you saw there, England froze for a second. They were trying to go to the pre-throw. They've got her out. What a brilliant advantage to England now.
Yeah, big point of that game for sure. 22 is now strolling around the baseline. But 2v3, a catch will turn it, that's for sure. That's good dodging up the top right-hand side. On the toes, trying to, almost like a boxer, trying to make a moving target for a punch. Now they charge England from the top of the screen.
It is, and it's also the ability to be more agile. It just gives them the ability to have extra movement on court there.
Whoa, not only dodges 1, 2, but 3 there from Kramer on the bottom right, one at the shoulder, one at the left-hand side, and one under the foot. That's some crazy shapes that she's making out there.
Not sure if you noticed there, but she also got the hit on the pre-throw.
Did not see that. This is such a fast game. I'm sure you'll understand at home that trying to spot everything on the dodgeball court is almost impossible.
It is, yeah, that's why we have so many referees for each game here. 2 fully qualified referees in the middle there, plus fully qualified referees in this game on the line referee positions.
Game on.
That's the first game to the Austrian Eagles. The reigning champs are doing well at keeping their title.
Kremser, phenomenal throughout that first stage. Ducking, diving, but then also making it count with the throw. Game 2, Austria lead 2-0.
Very quick team, the Austrians. Normally we'd be seeing England win that middle ball, but they're burning it, hoping for an early hit. Joanne Horwood for England sending it right back.
3, oh, there's a fumble. Kremser, who so influential in the last game, has just let her concentration slip, let go of the ball, and now they're under a little bit of stress.
I can't imagine that's the last we'll see of her, to be honest, though. The same way Charlotte Josiah, captain of the England team, is out for the England Lions. As we see Charlotte's back in there, but also a hit. Oh, no, not a hit in the middle there.
Ball's going astray for Austria. Now they have to sit back and let England come at them with a 3-ball attack. And the neutral zone, oh, off the shoulder. There's another one gone.
And the Lioness is looking like they're on the upper hand here.
That's
loss of control.
Frustrating for Austria to have hold of the ball. All they had to do is hold it out to make the block, but unfortunately the ball outpowered the other ball in the hands of the Austrian player and knocked it out. Problem. Oh, hits the deck.
What an amazing dodge there, but the hand over the back line, so she is out. Yes, on the matter of loss of control there, Louis, if there has to be a significant gap between the hand and the ball to be considered loss of control. Oh, she hasn't secured it.
That's some fight back already from England. It just shows that each team, they're going to go, well, head-to-head, toe-to-toe throughout this one. I don't think there's going to be anything between the two teams. We're off again.
Very close game. Quick hit. Are they going to get the quick hit? Yes, they are.
They're really going after 22 early, aren't they? They know that she poses an attacking threat for Austria. Almost shut her down, quieten her up, and then they're in a better place going forward.
And that's exactly what we said earlier. They needed to put her out. They've got her out of that game. They've shut her down early on. And now England can really find their stride.
Better catch might let her back in.
Oh, completely. And that's the discussion. Do you get the strongest player out first, because they would be the first returning to the court with the catch? Or do you go for a weaker player followed by a stronger player?
There goes another one gone now anyway, so...
England really, you know, double the number of players. They really have the upper hand.
Steaming forward again now, Austria. Oh, going for the head. There's a no hit this time.
No hit, no.
Running counter, no, decides to go back, the English number 2. So now there's 4 coming forward, an absolute army of English on the offense, but missing out again now, a little bit of faking out.
Just trying to put the pressure on. However, you can see that third ball there rolling into the neutral zone, and the Austrians will have that. Lovely burning a ball there from Jedlicka on the left-hand side.
Charging again, 3, there's a touch maybe against Kremser. Yeah, Kremser says, yeah, I'm out of here.
And the England women really showing their throwing power in this game.
Desperate for a catch now. Big throwers are out from Austria, aren't they? Oh no, 22 is back in the game.
So referees making some clear calls from what they can see down there, Louis. 5-second count. Takes 2 players out.
Umrak is out. And then there's really big problems now for Austria. Uh-oh, onslaught coming Austria's way. Leichert is left in by herself. Oh, head shot,
she
shoulder shot,
went.
fumble, everything.
The diving catch there underneath, just wanted to scoop it up, but couldn't manage to secure it there before she was hit by the others.
I think you're completely right with what you said earlier. Accurate throwing and real fast arms from England.
Austria just need to get back into their stride now.
Race to the centre yet again for another game here in the ladies' final.
Interestingly, they've actually subbed Umreich off here. I believe they probably saw that she was becoming England target and thought they'd try and change their tactics.
Yeah, just cause a bit of confusion maybe. That might just be something. There's one that's gone already. 20. Dodgeball is out.
Oh, and that was very close to a scrape on the inside of Josiah's leg, but no such luck for the Austrians. Just one player down, though.
Yeah, there's time in this one for sure, but
Polani, though, will be getting really frustrated with herself. She has been on catching form this tournament.
as we said earlier in the programme, you can't, that's a huge hit. 6 is gone. 77 won that battle, but in the context of the game, they really need this one, Austria, because they didn't want to go 4 down.
No, exactly. You need to keep the games as close as possible. Obviously, each team trying to get the significant lead. No, Kremser dodged that one there. Nice split jump in the air.
Sort of levitating, just holding her position in the air. Hang time.
Never fails to impress how high some of these dodgeball players can get on the international scene.
We've got hops for thing there. This surely should be England's game as well. Now they've got all the advantage. Oh, good work from Rasinger.
And they do have the 4. Koenig holding 2 of them. She will be looking to protect her team. In fact, they've got all 5. And Lauren Helms, a big threat out from the England team.
The tables are turning here in Glasgow throughout this game. We're back to 3s. England, well, they were, what, 5-3 up a moment ago?
Were,
they
yes.
had 4 balls in their hand and they missed all 4. All of a sudden, the momentum starts to shift, and Austria are back in this one. Big play right now. Both teams needing a little bit of luck on their side.
Catch and out. She secured the catch first, giving Austria the lead there.
Yeah, 1 goes from England, 1 comes back in on the catch for Austria.
Very important. If you are going to go out, you need to take someone down with you.
Never leave empty-handed. Oh, there's a hit off the hip. See you later. There's another one gone from Austria. 2 each. Huge time of this game. 5 minutes left in this half. Remember, each game is 3 minutes. You score 2 if you manage to knock out your opposition.
Now, England have no balls here. And a hit on the knees. They have taken the lead. They need to put the pressure on. Do not throw a single at this player here.
And they still only have 1 ball. This is advantage Austria to the max. Oh! Wow, there's a hit. That's a huge stroke of luck for England. An incredible play.
And they're calling loss of control. Koenig could not block that there without...
Those sorts of plays decide championships, and that's the difference between being tied at 4-4 and now 6-2 to Austria. Massive turn of fortune for England throughout that. It looked like England were done.
It did at the start. It really looked like they were on the back, but Austria just taking that first game. England having 3 consecutive games since. They are doing so well here. However, the game's close. It's not England just dominating. They are being made to work for it by the Austrian women.
Yeah, as we saw in the earlier game, I mean, Northern Ireland were really, really close the whole way through in terms of performance, but the score sometimes drifted away from them. There's nothing between the 2 teams. Same here for sure.
So a timeout has been called here. Each team has access to a 1-minute timeout per game.
The crowd love their dodgeball. Players are out the blocks yet again. Austria steaming forward. No hit unless you can hit the line judge, and then No chance she can leave the game.
You can do it, but it's not going to do any favours for you.
I got hit walking around the arena yesterday. It wasn't, it was actually pretty painful. I thought I could take it quite well, but obviously not.
It is surprising. Oh, lovely retaliation there from Kremser. Oh my goodness, she's caught at the line. And what protection from her teammate.
Money-making material. Anyway, charge forward for England down the court. Oh, Kremser.
Like you said, just leaping into the air. Big four-ball attack here. What are they going to show us?
Almost like Dodgeball's version of Lara Croft, Kremser.
And a catch in the air from Horwood.
Kremser again just jumps up, does the splits. Easy, easy, easy.
And she needs to be careful not to do too much of that, though, because if England cotton onto it, they will exploit it.
If she went in true Lara Croft style, she'd roll over the floor next time. Mix it up. 5 against 5, mixed game. Oh, no joy this time. England keep hold of one ball, but now they're backing back to the baseline. Austria, well, now their turn to have a little chat and choose their target. Oh, there's a catch. No, but it's fumbled. Kremser again. Just jumping high, doing the splits. Haven't caught on to that yet, England. Austria charge again.
You tend to find England not a particularly jumping side. They prefer to keep their feet grounded and dodge laterally as opposed to upwards.
I guess common sense within that would say that when your feet are on the floor, you're balanced. As soon as you're up in the air, you can't really divert into any different direction. You almost commit to where you're going. And you could be compromised.
Yes, exactly. And then there's the risk with jumping on the way down. If a player delays the ball, you can't go anywhere other than down at that time. And a catch from Reisinger on the end then. And just a block to protect herself as well.
Just got the shield out, just blocking. Balls coming left, right, and centre. Another chance to attack for Austria through the neutral zone. We're just missing out yet again. Just missing opportunities here. Like, might not look like that's game-changing, but if that happens 3 or 4 times, you're missing opportunities to score and knock the opposition out, and obviously win games. It's a game of inches, dodgeball.
It is, and we can see every game so far. I mean, we've got 4-on-3 players. One hit draws it, and a catch would change the sides. Austria need to hold out here, though, to get some more points on the board.
Yeah, they need to keep it close to half-time, huh? Need to stay as close to England as they can. They deserve to be close. Oh.
Okay, so there we go. Austria getting another game on the board.
Austria's game. They're back to just 2 now as the players line up, anticipating another big round. If Austria can just have a good start here, it's the number of players who are left. And that's a double hit, isn't it? Surely that's a deflection of 7
That's
off
what
to
it looked
Josiah,
like from here.
but only 1's gone. But surely 2 were hit there.
Unless there was quite a bit of spin on that ball. If number 7, Sarah Tao, managed to arch her backwards there.
Another fumble.
Okay, there is not long left of this half.
It looks like we're going evens at half-time, surely.
Oh, and what a brilliant second half that would lead us to.
Oh, wow. Kremser again. No, sorry, not Kremser, my mistake. Weber. Down at the bottom and getting pinged, but did very well to try and dodge everything she could out of the way of that one. Yeah, good blocking from England. Chance to retreat for Austria. And oh, boom, headshot. Absolute ripper.
Oh, my goodness, and Austria have lost that lead. Now they need to get a hit
This attack
here.
is huge. 5 seconds left. Whistle's gone. What's wrong? 5 seconds?
Draw. That's a draw in that game there.
Oh, he's called
so
it
that's
early.
going to 5-7.
We still had 5 seconds left, which was 1 more attack for Austria. So in our eyes, it looked like Austria really had to make it count. But anyway, half-time. Big game.
Big game,
Cut
yeah.
the tension with a knife here.
Very close. It is really hard to sit up and watch this and just not know which way it's going to go. It's so exciting. Those are the best games in dodgeball, though, the tense ones.
Yeah, every game, or every medal match has been fascinating to watch. Look, there's some nervous eyes in there, isn't there?
we can say change here. The woman in the black top there has previously been on the starting lineup for the Austrian Eagles, but she has taken a coaching role this tournament to share her wisdom with the team.
Down to an injury side potentially here. It's fascinating to see the looks on the players' faces, looking for guidance and instruction.
You can only try and guess what he's saying there. You know, he's showing 3 fingers. I think he's talking about that 3-ball attack, catching positions being talked about. And just looks like he's been quite aggressive there, doesn't it? Trying to say, you need to go for the hit, you need to commit to these.
I think from the outside looking in, it's clear that Austria are going to have their opportunities. And what we said earlier about having patience and not getting too caught up in the next play.
It's far from over. If Austria can go into the next set and win it, they are then level, okay? And then it's all to play for. It's one game.
Huge time. Well, both teams have already qualified for the World Championships in Madison Square Garden, New York, but that's irrelevant now. They're going to be happy to be going on that plane, but they're going to want to go there as European champions, and the confidence that that will bring to the team going into that tournament will be unbelievable.
Yes, definitely.
Well, it's been a phenomenal weekend here. Very, very enjoyable for everyone. But now we are into the last half of Dodgeball that we will see for the foreseeable future. And who is going to go away with this gold? England lead by 2, but Austria have momentum. They have skill, they have speed, they have stamina. They have all the tools that you need to be successful here against a very strong English team. I have no idea which way this one's going to go. Players take their marks. Can't afford a false start here either. So the second half is underway after such a close first that's just gone the way of England. They lead 7-5 here against a very, very strong and reigning European champions, Austria. Kelly, how do you see this second half going?
Well, I mean, Austria are already off to a fantastic start here. A catch by the centre player rising there, just taking off Joe Hall with a big threat. And another hit there on Gemini Mawson. I'm really hoping to see Austria bring this back. England challenge it again. I really can't call it though, Louis. It could go either way.
Pretty sporadic start from everyone. Josiah's out. That's huge because she's got a cannon of an arm on her. You do not want to be messing with a dodgeball throw-in by Josiah.
Yes, definitely. But they've still got number 8 there, Lauren Hemsen, who has just been an astounding player this tournament. She has been so much fun to watch in the mixed and the women's competitions. Bounce there doesn't count as a catch. The floor must not touch. The ball must not touch the floor before a player catches it. But a hit on Liv Morris. She couldn't secure it. Her body was not in the right position for that catch.
That's huge. When England really needed a catch, they got hits. They're down to 2. Big times of this gold medal match.
Oh, and an interesting play there from the Austrian Eagles. They just passed that ball up the court. Not something we've seen a lot yet this competition. Being very smart here. You do not want to be throwing a single ball.
There are 4 of them in the neutral zone, all towards.
And very accurate, but that meant that it was easier for Lauren Hems to dodge there. Just a nice sidestep.
You know, they're all on point, but that made it easy for her to get out of the way. 2 left foot and patience here needed for Austria because they have got the trump card right now. They are in charge of this one.
And there is something to say for seeing the game away here. Austria need to control this situation. It might seem like it's over. Lauren Hems, more than capable.
There we have it. Austria bring it back to 7-all here in the ladies' final. England had the best of the first half, but Austria have started the second on fire.
Yeah, I'm struggling to control myself here. This is just incredible dodgeball you are watching.
Oh, England sit back and let Austria fire at them yet again. The firing range is open and it's Austria
I'm beginning to
coming
wonder
forward.
if England might change that lineup there so they can be in contention for the starting ball. But
Fumble.
number 22, Umreich, out there.
There's a fumble on the
player.
right side. If you're new to dodgeball, you cannot help but love the entertainment value that goes with it. There's so much athleticism. Such good athletes. There's a catch, but there's also a hit. So a trade for Austria as one goes out, another comes in. So
Team's level.
Desire again a target, but it just misses her right leg by just an inch or so. More targets on Desire. They know what a weapon she is with her throw, so trying to get rid of her early. This is
And you can see here, England have all 5 dodgeballs. You're going to be looking for a big hit here.
oh, survey says nothing.
No, Polani's off court there. Polani got the hit.
Oh, she did get hit. Sorry, my mistake.
No, that's all right. I mean, you would be thinking they'd be looking for at least 2 hits in that situation. But Austria have leveled it again. Just a loss of a knee pad there. She's like, get back quickly so she can pull that up.
Oh,
A
more
hit, though,
joy
a
for
hit on each
England.
side. Umreich out, but Umreich got out Sarah Town as well.
Trading here. Both teams know how important this game is. 11 left on the clock. Going forward. Just toying with them again. 3, that's an easy block. There's only 1, there's 2. I'm not quite sure why they did that. There was quite a delay between the 2 throws. It gave time for the England player to obviously dodge one and then dodge another. Oh, but there's a hit on the counter. Straight to the midriff of 6. Out you go, 6. See you later.
Yes, I think what they were trying to do there, they were trying to entice the England player to throw so they could have an easier route there to getting the hit. However, they didn't want to risk play ball being called.
Uh-oh.
And the Austrian rising around as well there.
Can take a quick breath. Tantalising stuff here. Players ready to go again. Austria have been behind for large periods of this game, so they're used to it, but what they have got is a lot of heart and a lot of desire, and they will keep coming forward.
Ooh,
There's a hit before the catch.
Was it? Oh, I didn't spot that. Good spot, Louis.
5 means that, there's also been a hit by the looks of it. You can't quite see everything. There's so much happening at the moment. 1 hit again. Oh, this time there is a catch from Town.
Solid catch.
Out you go,
Sarah
Austria.
Town.
See you later.
England 2 up now. Loss of control by Mawson on the England team. Means the England women are only 1 ahead now.
Austria cannot afford England to go 4 in front again. It's happened before, and they can't let it happen again.
England back to a 2-woman lead.
9-7 left on the clock, so there's time for another 3 games at least, maybe more if they finish quick. So there's still time for Austria, but I'm sure they'd rather be going into the final 8 minutes on an even par than being behind.
Oh yes, they need to be. They don't want to be going any more down than they already are, or they're going to be playing catch-up, in addition to then having to win a game to secure this. England women will be very happy with their performance currently.
Block from 3, stays still and just puts ball in front of ball, just deflects it back. Good dodging from the Austrian at the top left of your picture, just almost hula hooping the hips and just letting the ball drift past. Beautiful work from them. Now there's a chance, but there's a counter already, but no, missed by an absolute mile. Oh, 2 is gone. Is there a hit?
There was a hit, and even if she wasn't hit, her foot just crept over the back line there, so she would have been out on a line fault anyway. Players must stay within the red boundaries that you can see on court here.
That's a big play there for Austria. They had 2 goes at the Austrian, missed both, and now they have a chance. If they get a hit here, then game on again. Oh, off the right shoulder. But has there been a catch? There's 2 out. There's a deflection.
No catch there. It's a deflection. Liv Morris nearly got the catch, but she couldn't secure it. I don't think she was expecting that ball to come towards her. It just bobbled out.
What do you do there? Do you try and save your teammate, or do you look after yourself and save the team? She went for the selfless option, got punished.
If you're aware, if she had been aware that that was coming, by all means catch that. She is more than a competent player to catch that ball, but she wasn't aware in that situation. I think that was a bit risky for her to go to it, but you have to take these risks. in international dodgeball.
That's huge. It's just brought the game back so close. Oh, catch. But there's also a hit.
Catch and out. The teams are level again. Austria need something here.
Oh, I can't keep up.
Oh.
Two left. Chance for Austria here. That's unbelievable athleticism from 6, just managing to jump off the right foot, stay in the air. Good hang time. That's the 3 minutes up. That's a draw. Can cut the tension with a knife here in Glasgow. Unbelievable stuff.
Austria still very able to bring this back though, Louis. I mean, we could be looking at a final set decider here.
I think it's going to stay close the whole way through, isn't it? There's nothing between them. A little bit of trading, coming forward, going back. Austria have 2. That means England have 3 in hand, and now they charge forward through the neutral zone. Oh, there's a hit. They jump high, the Austrians, but there's can't get out of the way of it if it's at hip height.
As we said earlier, England are cottoning onto that now.
Just throwing high all the time.
But they've levelled it. Gemini Mawson out for the women.
Through the legs of 2. Just feel it's a calm before the storm here yet again. Just as the tension
And a huge
builds.
running counter here. Very
Tension's
close
building
to that line.
yet again, as Austria have the lion's share of the ball, so you expect them to come forward first. And here they come from the left, right, and the middle. Oh, there's a hit. No, it's a catch. Get out of there, 77. See you later. 6 comes back in for England, and now they have a chance to charge. Jumping splits from Austria.
But both teams have shown us in this match alone that they can bring it back from a deficit.
100%. There's a long, long way to go in this one.
And she drops it. She was so confident with that catch.
Just took her eye off the ball. Need to stay still when you're catching. Austria need a hit here. No joy this time.
No referee signalling no. The big hand swipe there. Referees have to be very clear with their arm movements and decisions.
Oh, there's a block. Storming forward here on the counter, running counter. Oh! Fumble, and then a deflection into her teammate. 2 out from England. Tables have turned once again. Just when you think that everything is going the way, the momentum is going the way of one team, the other team just storms straight back. Crazy stuff. Block from 2 is money, but there is maybe a deflection. No, nothing this time.
No, referee's not calling it.
4v3. Need one here, England, surely. Oh, they do get one off the right foot. That's a hit, isn't it? Or was it a block?
No, block down. We said that's Kremser again there with that lovely jumping technique that she's displayed. And they've levelled it. And a deflection. Austria could be levelling the game here.
Town gets absolutely battered in the face, the shoulder and the hip. One of the balls deflects straight in to a partner, 2 down. And Austria now on the running counter. Take another one. Austria are absolutely flying here in Glasgow, and they're giving themselves a right chance of a gold medal. 3 storming forward again for Austria. There it is. They take the game.
And what a brilliant, beautiful finish by the Austrian Eagles there. You cannot be giving Lauren Hems a catch, and they just, toe shots.
Timeout as the crowd start to get on their feet. The atmosphere in here is electric as England are now on the back foot. They have to come up with a plan because Austria, whatever you're throwing at them, they have an answer. And England are in a little bit of a pickle here. The scores might be tied, but over the past 10 minutes or so, it's Austria that have been playing all the ball.
Exactly. And the deficit that Austria just came back from there.
Have everything,
what a turnaround.
Have all the momentum.
What a turnaround. I'm wondering here, England have called this timeout. Coach John Rudland in there and Coach Dave Poole on the left-hand side, just trying to give some pointers. I'm wondering, will they make any substitutes? Will they make any changes? Neither team has made any massive changes. We saw a few in the early games for Austria. Nothing in the second half, though.
If it's not broken,
don't fix it.
Don't fix it.
That's what they say.
Keep it going. Nothing is that broken for Austria at the moment. And we're off again, tied at 10s. Hearts are beating fast on that court as we approach the closing stages of this gold medal match here.
And I don't know if you saw it, that was a very, very close deflection there from number 6, Mawson, inches away from Morris.
Great shot, unbelievable. They were going high, and now Austria decided to go low on that one. We haven't seen them go low that often throughout this game. All 3 says, no way, Jose, that did not go anywhere near me. Kelly thinks there's a hit there, so did the crowd.
Yeah, the crowd definitely think there a hit there, as does the referee.
See you later, alligator. Yeah, Kelly, eagle-eyed Kelly up here in the commentary box as well.
We do have a very good view up here, though.
Oh, it's best view in the house for sure. Oh, Desira's out. That's huge. One of the main offensive weapons is gone.
Beautiful free throw from Gemini Mawson and gets Polani out on the other team, and she's such a key player in this match.
Good block again. Just standing their ground a little bit more now, I feel, Austria.
Yeah, and they need to do that. They need to do some sensible play here to keep their lead. Don't lose their momentum with the throw, though.
There's a catch, but there's also a hit, so it's a hit and an out, so...
No, referee seems to be communicating.
I guess if you catch it first, it could act as a block if it hit the hand.
He's calling in the Austrian coach. Yeah, if she had her hand secure around it and it hit her hands on the ball, that counts as the ball. Just asking the Austrians to calm down, talking back a little bit to the referees, and that is a yellow cardable offence. Obviously, the referees understand this is a very tense game, so they try to give a warning first.
Chill your beans, Austria, is the message from the referee. This is why we love sport. This is why dodgeball is so exciting to watch, because the tide can turn so quickly.
Referees seem to be discussing something here.
Right, Austria have all the momentum going through to the last 2.5 minutes. There's time for at least one more game, I think, after this. Remember, the games are 3 minutes long. We're not sure how long's left in this game, but we're sure there's time for one more. But whoever wins this is definitely going to be in the driving seat going forward. Austria to charge at England first. Oh, 2 misses.
Put the pressure on
there. 6. Oh, goes to floor again. Austria were jumping.
They're calling it out. Mawson stood on the line. That has levelled it. She will be really annoyed with herself here.
Rookie error.
It's so easy to do, especially if you're on one of those winging positions.
Ooh.
Oh, what a hit. She just didn't get out of the way of that side step. And a lovely cross from the England women there.
Straight back, though, surely. No, 3 was a block. So England have 4 balls.
No, they're calling line. Liv Morris very accepting of that, though. She said, yeah, she didn't realise it.
So England still have 3 balls. That means there's 2 that haven't got anything to block with. They go after the one who has. But that's great blocking. Up in the air, starfish land, duck out the way. Absolute,
we'll get you on later, Louis.
Sequence of moves.
Practice that movement.
Yeah, I'm too top heavy for that. That's for sure. 3 coming down. Oh!
Sarah Town, though, here feels like there was a hit on the Austrian. Alex Nelson, referee, though, right next to her. Tough one to call, though. Now, Austria need to remain calm here. See the time out.
1 minute.
But 2 formidable catches on this team here.
Oh, get back,
get back.
That ball bounced, surely the ball bounced. No come. Oh, she's out. So
no, they're calling a hit.
Game.
2 on 2. Austrians with 3 balls have to throw.
2 coming forward with a charge. The line misses by an absolute mile. Pressure is now an Austria chance for England.
Here,
nothing.
But a block.
Block was very good. Managed to dodge the one coming across her body.
Louis, I don't think you realise how tense this is now. That was a draw 2-all. This is going to 11-11. This is the last set decider.
So whoever manages to finish the time out with the most players on court win the European Championship. This is super tense.
Oh my goodness, are we going to see our first overtime of a final?
It's just going to be interesting to see how these players react to the pressure.
There is a 30-second set.
30 seconds. I wonder if we can...
The Austrian women need to line up here and their coach needs to get off court. They've used their timeout.
Wonder if we can get the time correct at the top. There's 15 minutes on the clock here, but we have 30 seconds left
Yeah, if
in
there's
the game.
less than 30 seconds on the clock, then a 30-second set will always be played.
Okay, 30 seconds left. One more set. England versus Austria. Whoever has the most players left on court wins the gold medal for the European Championships of Dodgeball 2017. This is unbelievable. You don't get much closer than this. It's absolute fire to get out the start. Austria have 3. England are letting them go for it. Great start for England. No hits first out.
No hits,
This is going to be their one real chance, England.
And I think England
to
might
score.
even release... Oh, she dropped it! Austria need a comeback now. Not much time left on the clock.
Austria coming forward in the 3. There's a counter, but there's also a block. No joy yet, but they need to release this ball.
You know,
they're running out of time. Oh, there's a hit. We're back to level. Massive, massive time. Last throw of the game. Wow. There's a drop from England that counts as an out, and that ties up the scores. So we're 11-11. The teams have exactly the same amount of players left on the court. Overtime, 3 minute, one game. 3 minutes for overtime, just the one game. Phenomenal stuff. What a hit under pressure at the last throw. Good throw, or maybe a little bit of tentative in the catch.
Tentative in the catch.
Yeah.
I mean, England were up there. She could have left that. There was less than 5 seconds on the clock there, and that would have been England's triple gold for this European Championships. But Austria will be very happy with that.
Pressure is an evil, evil mistress.
Oh, it is psychological. The psychology here in dodgeball and in any sport. You know, we see top athletes really fall because something has just got in their head, and I think we might have seen that there.
Who's your money on, Kelly?
Oh, I don't know. I can't call this anymore.
I'm going Austria. Austria now
Austria?
have got the momentum.
Seen what some of these women on the England team can do.
Here we go. Golden game, sudden death. Whoever wins this 1 3-minute set wins the gold medal for their country. Does not get any closer than this. Austria attack first. They got no choice. They have to retreat a little bit, but they're still in a good spot.
It could go either way. I mean, Austria and England both formidable here.
Oh, great dodge, hips push out.
No, she's out. I think she lined. But it is 3 minutes. Austria need to be careful not to lose their heads.
There's one.
There we go, leveling it. I mean, 3 minutes is a long time. Head coach there being called in. Not sure what the referees are discussing here, though. We might see after an action is taken. Talking to another one of the England staff members there.
It's all getting a little bit too much here in Glasgow.
Oh, it's unbearable.
Pressure. Nobody knows what's going on. Call's about to be made. Remember, there's 2.5 minutes left. And whoever wins this game wins the European
And they're level. They are level.
Championship.
2.5 minutes is so long, though. It could go down and up again on either side. England with a 3-ball attack.
Patient work from Austria.
4 balls now for Austria, and I think they wanted that. They didn't even look like they were going to counter.
Oh, there's one. That's a big one. Josiah's gone, and that's a weapon of the English offense for sure. One more gone.
They've got plenty of weapons left on that court. As of the Austrians, though, no hits there on the Austrians, and another 4-ball attack. I wonder how many they're going to release here.
Pushing forward.
Nice block. They are going in that pre-throw so beautifully every time.
But that's a,
oh my gosh!
That's
Lauren
a throw
Hens
from
has dropped
downtown.
it.
That's a throw from well downtown. Plenty of time to track it, but there's another drop. This is Austria well in charge here. England at panic stations. They're at 1s
But a
and 2s.
hit,
There's
they've got a
another
hit. Austria's still in the lead though, but another 4-ball attack, and they've got hit on their last 2 4-ball attacks. Play 3 balls called.
4 forward. Missed, good block. 3 in a row. Casual from town. Just stands there, just casually getting the right foot out the way, ducking the hip. Easy stuff, blocking another one.
3 separate balls there, which is unusual. but in close succession, so hopefully putting off Sarah Town from the catch there. I mean, she can easily catch a single ball, but she just didn't know when they were going to throw.
3 going forward. They need a hit here, England. They don't get one. There's one more ball with them, though.
She's saying no line, no hit.
Oh, you can
this is so tense here. I mean, we have got less than a minute left in this game.
can feel everything here. There's a hit.
Oh
Maybe
God.
There's a trade. 6 is gone. Banging the
Gemini
floor.
wasn't in the floor. Austria need to be so careful here not to give Sarah Town or Jo Hall a catch if they want to win and retain their title for 2 years.
40 seconds left as well. Time is on the Austrian side. There's
Oh
another
my
hit.
gosh.
Great whip of the right arm from 2. Gets a hit at the best possible time for her
And if they
country.
give away a catch here, I mean, that's then in England's favour.
Oh, another hit on the counter from way downtown, and another one as well. Is that a block? Given for a block.
Into her legs.
Here we go.
No, they can only throw 2, and Sarah Town can easily catch a 2-ball attack. The Austrians need to be so careful where they put
They
this.
have to go for the leg, surely.
Oh,
They're going
wow,
down
don't
the neutral zone.
underestimate this
Oh,
woman.
missing everything. Town is like, yeah, come
I
at me.
mean, that was super close to her foot there. So much pressure on Sarah Town here, but
Town
she's
has
got
got
the
2
majority.
balls.
Oh my goodness, just avoid it. Austria have kept it.
There you go.
Austria have kept the title.
Austria keep the title due to the clock ticking down. They take the gold medal here in Glasgow. They are the European Dodgeball Championship champions, for 2017, and the crowd erupts. What a game. It had everything. An early lead from England. Austria pegged it back the whole way through, and then boom, in overtime, they take the steal and they break English hearts.
I can't believe it. England women will be devastated there. They wanted the triple, they wanted to come back. They won it last in Vienna, and they would have been looking for a comeback from Belfast in the Paris Championships, but not quite. No joy today. Smiles all around on the Austrian Eagles team. And didn't they just make a beautiful comeback after that first half? Started off the second half, 7-5 down.
Just constantly early on, jumping very well, getting out the way of the ball as the time went on, started to duck underneath it. Very, very accurate with their throwing. Powerful stuff from the Austrians, and I think that's thoroughly deserved. They showed a lot of heart, a lot of passion, and now look at the way that they're celebrating. The Austrians celebrating with one of many war chants of this weekend. And they can be very, very happy and proud of their performance. What work from them. High fives all round. As we know, it's such a social, friendly sport on one side, but on the other side, it's super competitive, fiery, and challenging. Austria very much deserve to retain their title, and they deserve to go to Madison Square Garden as European champions next year. So there we have it. Austria are the women's gold medalist of the European Dodgeball Championship 2017. They won in an absolute thriller against the spirited England team. But Austria, who were behind all the way through, came back to draw the game in normal time and snatch it in overtime. They take the gold here. There's tears in the background of some of their players. Happy days for Austria in Glasgow. They stop England winning the hat-trick of all events after England won the men's and the mixed. It's Austria that are the gold medalists here in Glasgow. celebrations all around as we get ready to hand down to a courtside interview.
Yeah. Big hugs for the Austrian women. Hi, so we are going to head down to an interview now with Anna Polani and Jonathan Rudland, who is the coach of the England women.
Wow, what a women's final that was. One of the best women's finals I've ever seen here at the European Championships. We've got Anna here, champion. Any words?
Not really, I don't know what to say. It's kind of difficult not starting to cry again. Like, it's been kind of an emotional final, I'd say. You know, we know the girls, they know us. We like them off court, but when it's on court, it's always so intense to play against the Lions. I think you kind of felt that in the room, and I'm just so relieved that this time it worked out well for us.
Thank you. We've also got England manager John Rudland here. I know how hard you've worked with everyone. Anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, our girls in particular have put so much effort in this season. If we compare it to last year, Austria dominated the final. This year, we've stepped it up massively. Our girls are still so young. We've got teenagers still in that team. And all the time, we're chasing these girls, and we're not going to stop until we catch them. And the rest of our team, the rest of our staff are not going to let that happen. We've got to get there. We've got to get there, and we will. We're going to go back now, work even harder. We've got even more motivation to do that. And these guys know we're going to do that, and we'll see them in NYC next year.
Thank you for your words, guys. I'll let you go off. Enjoy the rest of your night.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. What a weekend of dodgeball here from Glasgow. It's been a phenomenal European Championship where England have been crowned champions of the men and the mix, but they were upset in the final of the women's where the Austrian team took victory. It's been a phenomenal weekend. We can't wait for the next year's World Cup at Madison Square Garden in New York. But from us, from Glasgow for now, it's goodbye.